And a quick audio test, because I put up a new microphone. So even though it's going to take 30 seconds for everyone to get back to us, so I want to make sure you guys can hear me and I don't sound like I'm talking through a tin can. But right now I got Marvel Guys being first. Hello, good morning. Marvel Guy says hello to Dan Does Junk and Shop Gremlin. And I got a sounds good from Shop Gremlin.
All right.
Excellent. All right. So do we want to pretend like we're going to do this thing?
Sure.
Oh, okay. So, hello, I'm Odin, and welcome to the Patreon-only portion of the Odin Makes live stream. And I'm here today with...
Joe Gillis.
I've known Joe for way too long. But he and I, we've worked together. We've worked on projects together. We've worked on Joe's projects together. He's helped me with some of my projects. And today was going to help him with another one of his upcoming projects or constant project. It's an upcoming Kickstarter for a project you've been working on.
That might sound better.
Oh, okay. I'll let Joe explain it.
Okay, so I was able to weasel, maybe, or convince Odin into joining the Kickstarter
There you go.
that I was doing for my books for Post-Apocalyptic Joe and a Cinematic Wasteland.
All right.
Now, he's not going to do the book portion, even though he is in the book. Briefly. What I wanted him to do was, in addition to the books, offering up the books, was create a VHS cassette light because they're cool.
Okay.
And it goes with it because the whole theme obviously is Cinematic Wasteland, so movies, right?
Right.
And all my covers, you know, like if you see like my other covers for paperbacks, they all VHS. You know, technically even says VHS on there. Oh,
Right.
He's doing it.
Trying.
He's much better than I am. So,
well, I had to put the super zoom on so we could see it, right?
yeah, so VHS is a big part of it. I mean, technically, I had to stop covering the VHS because, so if you see it covered, that's before Amazon told me I couldn't cover it.
You couldn't cover the VHS logo?
Yeah, which makes no sense, right? So,
Because
like, I have a book, and I have to have the VHS logo visible now.
This is the hard copy of the VHS, right?
Yeah, it's like, why? Because every single word has to be available to be seen. And I'm like, but it's not a VHS cassette. But, so it's obviously, it's a big part of the book and how things work out because the whole premise is a guy who gets trapped in the post-apocalypse. Well, not trapped. I mean, he just ends up there but he is sort of trapped. But he's basically fighting movie-inspired monsters from his favorite movies.
Right. So I have listened to the first two audiobooks, who happens to be voiced by...
Me.
Yeah, that guy. And honestly, that's as far as I've gotten, is the first two books, I think. But
well, that's because Joe, he already knows that I had some voice problems, and I had to sort of stop the audiobooks for a little bit.
I didn't realize they stopped. Okay.
Yeah. So... Well, we had talked about it, but he forgot, you know. But yes, so I
was busy
I'm
moving.
currently finishing those. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So no, it's fun, and for me, probably because I was distracted somewhat when I was first listening to the first book, I immediately had major questions over, that's awfully convenient. What the heck are you doing, Joe? And then it finally gets to it, like, oh, okay. But, you know, at first, I actually started the book, got to that point and went, and turned it off because I got to pay attention to this later type of a thing. So it took me, an extra week to get through the book before I started because I couldn't get past the... That's too freaking... If you've seen The Flash, you're blind. You don't get to see the...
Well, technically, with flash blindness, you may or may not be blind.
Nuclear explosion.
It's a nuclear explosion, literally on the first page, so he's not giving away too much. And I laughed at him when he told me it, because I'm like, dude, you just need to read on, because it will be explained. You'll understand why. You're getting actually a lot of hints that are there. So you're getting them, but you're getting a little bit more hung up on it than I thought anyone would. But I get it. I get hung up on that stuff too. So you didn't really realize that the flash blindness it comes into play later.
And are you trying to tell me that statistically speaking, in the real world, distance is going to play a factor.
Distance plays a factor according to all the research I read. And it also can be like sometimes it completely blind someone. A lot of times it's temporary. But it just really depends on some variables according to all the government paperwork and stuff that I got to read.
All right. That makes sense. Sorry. Yeah. I got hung up in details. So, the best advice I have is stop thinking and just enjoy the book because it is enjoyable.
Yes. Yeah. It's the first page. If you get hung up on that, which most people haven't, so it's all good. But it's like, it's I get it. But I did do a lot of research on this stuff. So, it's, even though, to be honest, it's a silly series, a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself seriously in any way, shape, or form. But I did research everything within it. So even at one point, it's my actual ham radio license in there. So I got a ham radio license to sort of fact check myself.
Sure. Now, did you put your actual call sign or whatever in the
my
book?
Call sign.
So if I had a ham radio, I could bother you.
You could. I just have to be online.
Yeah, well, that helps.
Well,
on
the
air,
radio technically, not
the radio
online,
has to be on to receive.
Yes. But yes, that is my legit call sign.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. I'm checking other things too, making sure that stuff is still working for the beginning of the stream because I'm still setting up. I didn't bother to do anything new to my shop until an hour before we started today, which is why we started a little late.
Yeah, but, people can see you're in a different place.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have been joining Odin, last time he was in a garage-type environment, it's been years.
It's been
years.
That was Zot's place.
Yeah.
And even then, it didn't entirely look like a garage, but I guess it kind of did. But yeah.
So.
Sorry.
No. I was going to say, I don't know if I really explained that. He's making a light, people.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, what am I doing? I make it all light.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about trying to get too deep into that until after we go public because, in the sense of a live stream for the people who are here now, we'll have to re-explain it all over again. So I was going to kind of save it till noon a little bit.
That's true.
Sorry.
You guys are the cool people, though.
Okay.
Let's talk about the book,
Yeah, they are. Because, in the future viewers, you guys are awesome, by the way. You get to see all this.
Yeah, no, you guys are cool, too. I wasn't trying to get at that. But
Shop Grumman also has their general ham license, and the radio's in a box somewhere. So you're not the only one.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We talked about it.
And we do have Steve D and Schultz Division also watching, which means we have people in Europe watching us.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's getting a little later there.
A bit. That's why it works out so well to do this at this time, because it's, end of the day for them, and it's not too late.
See, Odin thinks about these things.
Try. I try.
Me, I'll choose whatever's convenient for me.
That's fine. You can do that too.
I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
Yeah, you do that too.
So the book, what's cool about the book that we're doing the Kickstarter on is you can see them here, and like a normal book is going to have pages like that are, well, in my case, cream, even though it looks a little whiter. Odin. There we go. These are a little bit more cream, but because I like cream paper. But that's what you'd normally have.
As opposed to white.
For the Kickstarter, because it's both of them are actually VHS clam style cases.
Right, and something for me immediately. This is printed. This isn't an actual reflection like from a case.
Yeah.
It's part of the art.
It's part of the art. And so basically, I wanted to go with black sprayed edges, which is what you get with the Kickstarter edition, because then it looks like a real clamshell, right? But what's really cool, let's see if I can face it the right way. If you open it up, you're going to have your VHS inside, because that's the end paper. So that's being added on as a Kickstarter thing, because that's actually a lot harder.
That's darn close to the right size.
It will look...
It's darn close.
When you're done with it, I'm going to make it look like that. And then if we flip it over, because it would technically be like that, right?
Right.
So that's what I'm doing with the
like you got the hub blocks
pages.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks more like an actual VHS case. Both of them are that way. Both the Bookbuster, not Blockbuster.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes more sense. Odin's much better at this than me.
That's all right. Blockbuster. Yeah, because he and I both remember Blockbuster from back in the day for renting VHS and DVDs and video games. So the page thing is neat to me because I'm used to seeing gold leaf on books. And Joe was even telling me that I guess some publishers can print on the side now.
Yeah, the publisher I'm using can, but I wanted the cool black. And the Bookbuster one's going to be different because it actually has a Bookbuster sticker. Because,
of course it does.
Because Blockbuster wouldn't have had that.
Right.
So,
yeah, they wouldn't.
That's the silliness of what we're doing today. We're having some fun with books.
And then you have, it's to continue with what the books are, it's a series of books, so 6 individual books, and Joe called them episodes, which apparently was confusing at first.
Yeah, that was a bad idea, but you know what? I'm just going to go. I don't think it is. I think people I needed to clarify it differently.
Right.
So these are all 6 of the books, which is really one continuous storyline.
Right. It's the season.
It's the season.
In books.
In books.
Yeah.
Which some people have done, so I thought it was going to be no big deal. Turns out that some people didn't understand that aspect of it. So I fashioned it like a television show.
Okay.
So it's like the chapters are like the commercial break times.
Right.
And it's like enough chapters that it would sort of be the correct commercial breaks even. And then the episode's a contained story in a way, but it's really not because it still continues and it's not going to give away everything. And you really need all 6 to really get the point of the story.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're not getting the cool things like this, where...
Back here.
Right back here? Okay. So you're not getting to cool things like this. As you can see, monsters. Killer rats.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's, if
you want to show off all your covers.
Oh, yeah, right? Sure. So here's the first one, which is a lot like, Joe will get it eventually.
It's okay. It's hard. It's a camera, not a mirror, so it doesn't
work the way it's going to. There's the second one. Oh, and I'll tell you the names. This was, which was a bad freaking name. This is, When It Rains, It Pours, because I didn't really think about the fact that the name was going to be so prevalent.
Right.
This is, It's the End of the World as We Know It, and I Don't Feel Fine. This one is The Rise of Post-Apocalyptic Joe, because this is actually the rise of Post-Apocalyptic Joe at that point. This one is Killer Rodents of Unusual Size. This one is, oh my gosh, brain. This one is, boy.
This is the name of your book, or what? Or
I totally know the episode name, and we're gonna just forget about it.
This is
No Thy Enemy. This is the 6th episode.
Okay.
And so basically, it all tells a story that I call the season, which is really one continuous storyline that I could put together at the end to bundle it up. So I always thought it would be cool to have the serial aspect going.
Sure.
So technically, it's not technically, it is a serial. So it's just one continuous storyline. So I actually just started up season 2, but only on my website,
Right.
So it will be one chapter at a time, and it's only for like my tier level people, the radioactive people like you are.
Yeah.
And so like I'm just going to be releasing that chapter by chapter. Yeah. Which, because it becomes rad, is the real reason.
Radioactive, yeah.
Yeah, which is the coolest thing is like if you go into hospitals, it says rad.
Yeah.
Which radiation is like not rad.
No.
But it's cool that it's rad.
Yes, it is.
So there's Joe's. He's all stretch.
That's okay. I'm not trying to stretch.
Oh, I did forget one cool thing with the book that I'm going to do, and we'll do it later. Let's see here. So let's go with the bigger puppies.
Okay.
So this would be something that would come with the Bookbuster. So stickers that you could put on the outside, and ones for the clam shell, what I'm calling the VHS clam shell. And the reason I wanted that's because I have one sticker on there, but it's technically behind. It's behind the...
It would be behind the plastic cover of
in reality.
Yeah. Okay.
And so then the stickers would go on the outside. I have one I could throw on but you get to put where you want to put it, and it'd be on the outside.
Much like video stores did.
Yes.
Which is the important thing for those who may be watching who have not experienced a video store.
Oh, that's true.
That's a possibility right now.
It's 100%.
Why would you be giving round stickers with a book?
because they would have these on the books in various places, and sometimes just one on top of the other sometimes.
On videotapes. Again, going back to Blockbuster, and especially mom and pop video stores, in order to help the employees know what section a particular movie would go, they would slap these stickers on that said horror, fantasy, sci-fi, and so they could put them back where they belonged, right? And yeah, for those of us who remember buying loads of used VHS at the end of mom and pop stores, and even with Blockbuster, they would be stickers on top of stickers, and especially price tags and stuff was getting discounted. Oh, yeah. It would be like, your grandfather's DMV stickers for each year, where it goes out like a quarter of an inch thick. It's just
like drop the price. And like screw pulling off, just put a couple more on there.
And then that was one of the things that he was also doing with the cereal books, was this added thing. And
yeah, so I just thought it'd be more fun that way, because I seem to make things the way I want to make them for me, I guess. What I think would be cool. Does anyone else? Who knows? We're about to find out.
We're about to find out. Might even go live early. Marvel Guy's in the process of writing a book, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dan Does Junk says, in the town I grew up in, there was a Blockbuster across from a Hollywood Video. So that gave us much more options, especially when one store didn't have what we were looking for and the other one did. Hey, Joe, you decided to go with Blockbuster in all of your books, but you know something about Hollywood Video.
I do. I managed a Hollywood Video. And yet I'm using Blockbuster. Well, okay, I'm going to be honest. So I managed a Hollywood Video.
Right.
But where growing up, there was a Blockbuster near me.
Yeah.
And I would frequent that Blockbuster all the time.
Sure.
So this is something that is more so tied to my heart than, sadly, Hollywood Video, even though it should be.
No, it's not a big deal. I get it. I was also going with the idea that Blockbuster is better known than Hollywood Video.
That's true. That's true.
There is currently, right now, this day, while we're streaming, there's still a Blockbuster alive.
Yes.
Right? Yes. There's one still operational.
But here's the sad news, guys. I just found out that there's going to be 0 after the 31st.
Right. So at the end of this month, they're done.
Yep. The last Blockbuster is shutting down, which really sucks, because if you're young enough to where you didn't go into a video store, it's a totally different experience than going online trying to find a movie or anything.
Yeah.
It's completely a different experience on like being able to walk the aisles, see the covers, look at the covers. Not just that, you also got to know the video store employees.
Yes, and they got to know you.
And they got to know you.
Which could be good and bad.
Yeah, but the thing is they would, they could be someone who suggests movies to you.
Right, because once you got the idea that you're talking to a particular employee and you have a similar taste in movies and a similar taste of what you're going to put up with, they could suggest oddball things and stuff that came out direct to video, which was a weird thing that happened there. They would make inexpensive movies and they'd come out direct to video and not go to the theaters first, which was a new concept for Hollywood. Now it's direct to cable and direct to streaming.
Yeah, but the problem is the money difference is humongous in terms of for like the independent filmmakers.
Yeah.
You're talking about the difference between being able to actually continue to make stuff and turn like maybe a reasonable profit or at least break even to like struggle. Yeah. Because streaming doesn't pay.
No, it doesn't. Lot. Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For direct to video, it was easier to turn a profit, easier to get the videos out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which gave you more, I think, indie movies. Yes. Right now what we get is there are a lot more indie movies only because I think the cost of things came down.
Okay.
So personally, I just think it's because like, when you and I started, it was really expensive. We were shooting on film.
Right.
Because you would have been shooting on like VHS or Beta, and it did not look...
It didn't have the quality, no.
No. And so you're shooting on film, like I started shooting on film, so you're paying per foot for like what you not only shoot, but then per foot on you have to go develop it.
Right.
And then if you're going to need a work print off of that, so it's like it's a bunch of like per foot costs that are like tacking on to each other.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden it's like really expensive to do it, and it's very prohibitive for a lot of people.
and editing was completely different. If you were going to edit on film, you actually cut your only copy.
Well, you cut your work print.
Well, your work print first.
Yeah.
But when you cut your final thing.
Yeah, you cut your negative. And if they screw it up, that sort of sucks.
That was it, yeah.
And I did that with 9 items or less. My short film I did, like, I cut the negative to make the prints for it.
Right.
That we ran in theaters and stuff. So it was like, you know, basically what they do is they do like a checkerboard thing when they create like you're cutting your negative. So you'll have your film with the cut, and then there'll be a black over here, and then when they do the cut, you jump to the other side, and it jumps back and forth type thing. So really you end up with like, on your negative, you end up with like 2 negatives to make the one.
Okay.
You know? For an actual negative.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh, okay.
He probably remembers it, but it's been a long time.
But the description I'm getting lost on, and I'm also getting caught up with the whole Mo Henry.
Mo Henry.
Yeah. Yep. So, Joe, who is Mo Henry?
Well, why don't you explain?
Okay, fine. For the longest time with movies, you would see a credit in the end of the credits for negative cutter, Mo Henry.
Uh-huh.
And at this point, I'm even confused on the gender of Mo Henry, not that that matters. But Mo Henry was the go-to negative cutter for years in Hollywood, especially at the very end of the film thing, because of how critical it was to get it right. Because this was the only negative you're using the shooting negative to make your final print with, and if you did it wrong, you're destroying frames, because you would. Part of the process is you've got 2 frames of film next to each other. Well, you cut half of this one off and you cut half of that one off, and you start putting them back together, and it was just part of the
doing
process.
Like a cement. It's not a tape, so it's like a permanent type bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so some of the older films, especially like Abyss is a good one where you can really see it. You get the extended scenes. You have a frame jump because those extended frames don't exist anymore. They have since gone back and remastered them and made in-betweens using a computer. But for the longest time, that wasn't an option. And so Mo Henry was just the last one doing it. And I don't think that isn't the case anymore. But yeah, I just thought it was neat.
Yeah, no, I mean, they scan in pretty much nearly everything, with the exception of, like, I got to imagine someone like Quentin Tarantino is still cutting on film.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Considering he owns, like, movie theaters and he will not run digital.
Yeah.
They have to run film.
Yeah.
In his theater, so like,
speaking of video store employees, but anyway,
yeah. So whereas like Kevin Smith owns a theater and he's okay with running digital.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. No, but still, I know weird detail. Tarantino started out writing scripts while a video store employee.
Yeah, that is true.
So Ace is here with greetings all. Hello Ace. We'll get back up here. Okay, so we're not too far back. So Advexen says the stickers on VHS tapes, were always a great way to date and age the case. If the sticker was faded, you knew it had some history.
Yeah. That's true. Oh,
yeah.
You know, there's one major thing, though. I just realized, I just looked at the monitor here.
Yeah?
That Odin has. You notice I'm dressed up. I just don't go around dressing up like this for things.
Sure you do.
Odin's like, hey, it's Halloween. You can dress up like maybe your character. And I'm like, oh, sure. That sounds great. And then I show up and I'm like, what's your outfit? Oh!
That's my outfit.
Nice! Nice! I did not know that was happening. That's hilarious.
Is that an okay outfit?
That's a great outfit.
Okay,
good. You didn't tell me that. I honestly was making fun of him. That was a real story. And I was like, I don't mind dressing up. This is cool. This will be fun.
I helped you make some of this, I think.
You did.
Because this was all part of the Kinetic Grand Sculpture.
Yeah, so I tell the story actually in the book on the behind the scenes is I went through and gathered up the pieces and everything by going to like Goodwill or wherever I could find stuff. But I needed to have the stuff riveted on.
Yeah.
And so Odin's going around riveting on everything as we're going, putting it all together and deciding what should go what.
Yeah, so this is all done in Scott's backyard, right?
Yeah, and I think you might have been cutting up the belts too for me.
I think I cut the belts up too. Yeah, I'm remembering now because I'm seeing it's all pop riveted with Scott's extra wide fender washers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not zooming in because camera isn't up that high.
No.
But yeah, no, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the goggles that I originally got from Carl Miller.
These particular ones we made last time I was here a year ago.
Those are the ones we made? Okay.
Yeah, but they're off of that one. Yes, I do have.
So he's got vintage, whichever nationality, and I believe these are World War II or Korean era, somewhere in there, these goggles.
They're awesome era.
Yeah, Carl had originally found, and he wore at Burning Man, and then I had doctored for Carl then, and then, here you go, Joe.
It's a lot of people's juices on those.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's been on a few faces.
Yeah, and a lot of sweating.
Shady's here. Hello, world. Let's see. Schultz Division says, Blockbuster closed many years ago in Denmark. I miss those days, walking the aisles, looking for new cool movies or B-movies no one knew about. I loved walking through and looking at the B-movie covers just to find the pieces of the Millennium Falcon model kit they kit bashed to make the cover art, and how common that was.
Hey, well, in all fairness, he knows this. He's seen the real stuff. They took a bunch of models to make the Star Wars stuff.
Yes,
and used it. So it's really just paying it forward at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
I love that there's in the Apocalyptic forum there are guys who have been going through this, the Star Destroyer model bit by bit, looking at behind-the-scenes photos to identify which Camaro 1/16th Camaro rim is used as the thruster for the 3-foot. Yeah.
All I know is, like, the first time I saw the actual Star Wars props and the real Star Wars things, you're like, this does not look good.
No, it doesn't. We both talked about this before. You get the shooting X-Wings, the original X-Wing fighters. Okay, not only do they not have any cockpit glass because it would reflect, it was all painted up and dirtied up, and then they were like too rich or too reflective, so they literally took flat white paint and went and just muted everything. It's like, oh, all right. I when I did that to my Warhammer miniatures, I got pissed because I had a sealant, like the clear coat sealant you use in your figures, and a primer, and the labels were identical except one said primer, one said sealant. So after getting the inner all painted up, I got a whole squad ready to go. Yeah. Anyway, you know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
Dan Does Junk went to Blockbuster mostly for the games. I remember when they were renting games.
Yeah. People might have it their memory for DVDs, games, or whatever.
We got a Chihuahua there.
Really?
There was a point in time when Ellis and I went into the Blockbuster and happened to talk to somebody else, and they had their dogs had just had puppies, and so we ended up going over and getting a Chihuahua because we happened to go to Blockbuster that particular night because we never went. Right? It was just, we gotta go tonight. So all right, let's go to Blockbuster and try and find something. Found something.
Did you get a movie to go along with that?
Yeah, I think we did. That part I don't remember. I just remember that we got a dog. She also remembers renting movies. We get a high ace for everybody else. Reveals! Because I took my shirt off. And Shop Grillman has a picture of the original Yoda Muppet from when it was on exhibit back in 2015 up at, I think I was told it was the Seattle Arts Museum or Seattle Science Museum. Mm-hmm. It was, the Mystery Magic Show kept going around and getting renamed, right?
Yeah.
And so they saw it in 2015 up in Seattle, I think it was. I've heard the story. So it's noon, which means we should become, do the whole go public thing. I want to thank everyone who is here now, because you guys are the hardcore people. You are the ones that help kept the channel going. The beginning of this is always set for... I can't talk and click buttons at the same time.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Do I have anything in here for Joe?
You have an other or something, other videos, but
yeah, but
worry about that
that's
later.
not it. Okay, we're good with this one. Done and save. There it goes. So we're now public and great. So I want to thank all of you who have been putting up with us for the past half hour while we're trying to figure out what we're doing here, giving an explanation of why we're here, because all of you are absolutely the hardcore fans. You're the ones that are part of Discord, the ones that are part of Patreon, and the channel has survived the past couple of years because of your support. So thank you all very much. But we're now open live public, and hopefully a few more people will pop in. I did not post today that we were doing this, but I did post a couple days ago that we were doing this. So probably, okay. Anyway, we'll see who shows up.
He's been busy. It was like Halloween time and stuff.
Yeah, I drove around.
Yeah, this is the worst month for Odin every year.
We just went from
always busy.
We just quadrupled viewers, so we're doing great. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Odin Makes Sunday live stream, and welcome to while we're doing it here now in live, the public portion. From here on out until whatever point in time we actually manage to shut up, which may not be 2 o'clock, this is all open for anyone who wants to pop in and say hi. And of course, being Odin Makes, my name is Odin. Hello, and with me today...
I'm Joe Gillis.
Joe Gillis, who are you and why are you here?
I'm here because I forced Odin into doing things for me, always. So the real reason I'm here is because I have a book series called Post-Apocalyptic Joe in a Cinematic Wasteland that I am going to kick off a Kickstarter. Yeah. I don't know of a better way to say that.
No.
But I'm going to do that like here soon. Okay. And what it's about is... it's going to be for VHS-looking books based on the first season, which is essentially 6 episodes that are like smaller books put it together to tell the one big story that took place over what I'd call the first full season.
So you have a series of smaller novels that you've collected into one like graphic novel or trade paperback type of a thing. Cool.
Yeah. And so that would be cool, except for I was like, well... this looks sort of... I don't mind cream and stuff. But what I wanted to do was, because I wanted VHS-style clamshells, so both of them are VHS-style clamshells.
Right.
I wanted to take and actually have spray-painted edges. So they're going to be sprayed black. Okay. And then I also
Are you spraying them black? Or is
no. The company who's making them is going to do it. On these ones I did.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can smell it. You can smell what I did yesterday.
That is not... taken out of context, that is 100%...
might be really wrong. So, I wanted it to look more like a clamshell. So, it has like my artwork and stuff, and it's in one of the... on VHSs, they'd have like this plastic that goes around that it inserts into.
Right.
Like, if you were to cut up your VHS... case, or in this case, Blockbuster, insert your insert.
We've been talking about video VHS rentals with the Discord portion early on. I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but in the world of VHS, there was a lot of paper sleeves where it was just a paper sleeve that go over the VHS tape. But for rental houses, they would have these plastic clamshells because they would last longer. And depending on the rental house, they either ordered the plastic clamshells from the distributor or they cut up the paper case and stuck them into clamshells.
Which is how a lot of the places at the very beginning, especially before like Blockbuster came around, and they're like, "Well, hey, let's make it look nicer."
Yeah, let's make it uniform.
But to be honest, I actually liked these more.
Yeah.
So this is more like what it would have been if you went to a mom and pop store type of a situation. Right. So beyond just being the case, could you cut to one of these cameras here?
No, sure. Joe wants to show stuff off again.
So you would open it up. And it has a VHS in it like it. So this is another special thing you wouldn't have normally. So it has custom in papers that look like the actual clamshell. In fact, there's a Bookbuster, like Blockbuster would have that. Here, you know? Oh, yeah. There we go.
I see you got your Bookbuster thing, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a Bookbuster imprint like they would have. No. It totally works. And then you flip it to the other side, and of course that's how it would look when you flip the case open.
When you open the case the wrong way.
And so I made it to where it actually opens like a VHS. So both of them do that. The big difference with the Bookbuster, instead of Blockbuster because it's parody, was Blockbuster would have had a blue sticker that said Blockbuster on it and stuff. So this has a Bookbuster one.
And this sticker, as I recall from the VHS tapes, would actually wrap around the side of the tape. It would. As a security measure, so you couldn't disassemble the tape and swap out the cassette for something else and turn in, non-family friendly. There we are.
Well, and as you saw, because that was fun to switch out VHS cassettes. Sometimes like Jack Frost or something. And so that's where the whole idea of the VHS cassette light comes from for Odin. Is making it is it's all tied together. So this particular version will be the only time you get the yellow inside, because it will match the radioactive yellow, even though it doesn't. The radioactive VHS lights that Odin's about to make. Right.
So the whole reason I'm here today is Joe is starting off his Kickstarter. Known him for years. Like, yeah, let's just go ahead and do this. And he wants me to make, You want me to make like a collectible. This isn't going to be a tape that plays on a machine.
Oh, heck no.
But you want,
I want a light. So I joke on the Kickstarter that it's a reading light, but it's not. It would suck as a reading light.
Yes.
It's just supposed to look cool.
Okay.
You know?
Are you putting this in the clamshell or anything?
No.
No, okay.
But that's not a bad idea.
Sorry.
And it may end up in a clamshell now.
Okay. Now, what's funny is you've talked to me about this. And mentally, as I was picturing it, I kept thinking the area where the label was going to be where the light was coming from. But I realized that's not what's going to happen. Okay. Because that's not the way this worked. VHS tapes almost uniformly have this clear window so you can see how much of the tape is advanced or maybe how much is left, or just check on the health of your tape. But, That's not where that's not where the window is.
No,
I had forgotten.
You know what's funny is I just realized I should have offered up like my movies in VHS, because I still have a few VHS copies of like Voices.
Yeah. I was expecting you were just going to bring in like
that would have been smart.
Okay.
But Joe was building his books last night because these are being printed in England. And so I still don't have like my actual books because I've been busy.
Yeah.
Both of us have been moving lately.
Yeah. Moving sucks.
What sucks is I've been doing a lot of painting. And, I'm a fan of Karate Kid. And so, I'm painting the fence, trying to learn my karate moves and stuff. Not any better at karate.
Shells Vision is asking if those are real aviator goggles. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I understand, they are real.
Those are, because you found vintage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are supposed to be real, legit ones I found. But, I don't know. They look nearly identical to what Odin had, so I went with them.
Adventures of Alex Saunders here. Hey, Odin, how are you? Doing well. Alex, doing another live stream with my friend Joe Gillis, having fun.
Hello.
Sporadic Amnesic says, evening, Odin. Carlos says hello from the Dominican Republic, which is
nice.
Yes, hello, Carlos. I'm always excited to hear where in the globe you are when people are signing in. As a kid, I always enjoyed looking at globes and looking at maps and seeing how countries far apart they were from each other, how things related or worked. And so at this point, when I actually have people telling me hello from these places that I kind of remember, it's really cool.
You need to get like a world map that you can start putting like pins in, Probably, that would be really cool.
Okay, there's a joke coming in here. I was trying to see it and I don't see it. But
just trying to figure out the joke.
Yeah, I don't see it. William Wells says, "Hey guys, happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, William." Smash up mashups to Joe and Odin. The Blockbuster-esque cover looks so good.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it does.
I'm going to give you back, even though you probably have one. Wait, where am I? There.
Yes, because I'm.
So I made these, which if you go see me in like a live event signing books or something, like I'll be in Vegas at a rave event at the in about 2 weeks, and
rave
well, it's a readers event. What's really cool is this guy Kevin Smith, you probably heard of. He's kicking it off on Thursday night, so I gotta like watch a Kevin Smith talk and junk, which is awesome. So I made these membership cards, which also if you join my thing you got, but
right. Oh, hey,
there's Odin.
Yeah, you got my name on one.
He's officially a member.
I'm a member. Want to be a member?
Want to be a member? So it was like I went off that whole idea of the Bookbuster because everybody loves it, and every time they see it, they love it. So I was like, it'd make a horrible cover normally, but for like a Kickstarter, I'm like that could be a cool cover.
That could be cool.
Yeah,
could be very cool. So we keep talking about a Kickstarter. I believe I put the link to this Kickstarter in the description of the live stream. It may not be active yet, but it will soon.
It is not active yet because I have not pressed the button. And
well, smash that like button, Joe.
Smash that like button. I guess I should go live at some point.
Yeah, probably sooner than later.
I thought you might get into the building the light, and then I was like, well, he was busy. I could, maybe I'd
probably
go live
can
at that point. But
Yeah,
but I could do it now. Whatever.
We'll
Odin
end up trading
wants.
places at some point, so you can read what comments are while I'm working on the VHS tape. So, in order to give us time to get this done, by the way, Schultz Division, thank you for joining us. Always appreciate your company, and I'll be telling you this when you watch the playback later because you're already gone. But thanks for joining us, Schultz, when you did.
Oh, and that was one thing we mentioned earlier. So
William
I forgot about
says
it.
he's in Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
I remember William.
Do you remember William Wells?
Yes, I do.
Is
Hi,
this
William
specifically
Wells.
William?
As far as I know, it is, right? William, will you point out if it is really the William Wells that we know in Oklahoma? I'm sure he'll say.
Wow, I'm sure he will. I'm so horrible with names, and anyway. Yeah, it's
I
fun.
could be remembering.
Oh, I'm sure you're right.
William
I'm
Wells.
sure this is William.
Yeah. So, one of the other factors that I guess...
here.
Right here.
He'll
That
figure
would
it
be
out
really...
eventually.
That I wanted to add to it. So if you get the Blockbuster edition, I'm going to give you like stickers that would have been... Well, these would be more like what you'd see on an actual Blockbuster video, and that one there, if you were purchasing it. But also the stickers you would normally have on a VHS clamshell. And then for the other edition, I had some different ones because they would have had a lot of different options that you have and their price tags, and if you wanted to make it a rental or whatever. So I thought it'd be fun because it's a clamshell that you could just add your own stickers to it.
Yeah.
Just put it on the front.
Put it on the front.
Boom, wherever I want. I can just put my stickers.
This horror.
Yeah.
Comedy adventure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it covers everything that it really is. Science fiction, horror, comedy,
Yeah.
adventure. Since there's monsters involved, it technically becomes a horror because it's all based off like horror movies that he likes, all B ones. Yeah. Because they got to be in public domain too for me to play it super duper safe. So
This is true.
This first one is not.
Safe.
It's technically rats, which I already said rodents.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you might figure that out. As opposed to killer shrews, which is what it's based off of. That's where the idea stems from. Is the
killer shrews?
The killer shrews.
Oh,
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So Odin, he'll be right back. He is currently doing something right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to take care of Bean. He wanted to go back inside.
Oh no, it's cool.
Sorry.
I mean, this is why you have another person here.
Yeah, it is.
I should have pretended that it wasn't me. Felicia has really good costumes and makeup skills.
Yes,
now.
look at Felicia. This is great. So the whole reason Joe is here, the whole reason we're doing a live stream today isn't just to fill up time, which is what we've been doing for the past hour, but you wanted me to make a glowing video cassette light thing, which was inspired by something. And,
well,
or am I jumping ahead?
No. We can talk about that. So basically, I have some that I put on the back of my set, but mine I just took Stranger Things light, removed the decals, and put my little decal on it, slapped some stickers on it and stuff. Okay. But the problem with it is a couple folds. One is this sort of bugs me.
It's a little small for being a VHS.
Yeah, I can't put it on my. I can't accidentally put it in my VHS player.
Well, I'm sure
I guess
that's
is
quite
probably
intentional
why.
what it is. Yeah, okay.
Well,
so
why not make it bigger on the sides or something?
Well, you do it smaller because it's going to cost less to produce.
Yes.
So this thing is easily 2 millimeters shorter on the long way.
Yeah.
And probably 6 millimeters. Basically, it's if you were to take the door off, it is because there's on a VHS tape. For those of you who don't know, there was a protective dust cover. There's a little button on the side that the machines would hit. So when it loaded in, it would flip the door up, and then it could access the tape. This is just liters, and there's no information.
Yeah, there's no real tape
but
in this.
The size of this guy is the size minus the seam of the door. Basically, it might be a millimeter over. But anyway, I don't know. It's fun to me to look at this stuff.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't like necessarily just the Stranger Things. I wanted one for Post-Apocalyptic Joe in a Cinematic Wasteland. I also wanted the yellow color because it's like more nuclear in my mind, radiation type.
Yeah,
of a
that makes
thing
sense.
Versus black, even though black's cool too.
Now, was this? There's a button. Was this available in the States?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You could buy it in the States.
And you didn't charge it.
Oh well, you put a USB. There's a USB cable right there. You plug it in if you want to look at it. I took the stickers off. This is my backup for my lights that are behind me, and my.
It didn't do anything.
Didn't work.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So these windows are frosted. So presumably there isn't much going on inside.
Yeah, because some people make VHS lights, but one of the things I like about this that you typically don't do, and may or may not work depending on how you feel, because it's got to be like you dig it. I do like the frosted light, like frosted aspect of this.
Okay.
It's not very true to the VHS, but also they didn't glow out
No,
of them either.
usually didn't glow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what you want me to do is disassemble the VHS tape.
Yep.
Potentially frost up the windows to diffuse light better.
Yep.
And then put some sort of LED inside of it to make it glow.
Yep.
And then
there's going to need to be a way to where obviously they can turn it. I was thinking maybe even something similar to that where you could plug in just USB or something
and charge it or whatever.
Yeah, charge it or plugs in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And this is now the other thing is, I'm making a prototype. We're trying to do a prototype today to see how well this is going to work. But Joe also wants me to commit to a number of actually making these. So I'm not just making a prototype for a Kickstarter that's going to be turned over to someone else to do. No, I'm going to be responsible for building all of them. So handcrafted. I will probably finagle some help from a cryptid for getting some painting done and maybe a little bit of soldering. But this is going to be all the ones available on Joe's Kickstarter are going to 100% be built by me and Shop Gremlin. Mostly me, I imagine. I don't think Shop Gremlin's going to have a whole lot of interest in this. Yeah. And what I planned on doing was numbering them for the hell of it.
That would be awesome. I like that.
Just for the fun of it.
Probably sign the back too.
Yeah, that too. I didn't say
really
that part,
cool.
But I was thinking about signing it as well. And I've actually brought that up to Shop Gremlin beforehand. And it's going to be these yellow cassettes. Joe's already bought a ton of these.
Yep. Got enough. Yeah. Even if you screw one up, it's
right.
all good.
That's
or two
good.
or three.
Well, it's been a little while since I take one apart. Can I take one apart?
Yeah, that's why I brought them. Good. I brought extras just in case there was a problem with it.
Let's swap sides.
Okay.
So Joe can now drive, so he'll be able to see the comments. Just so Joe knows, in case he doesn't remember, the blue ones happen to be our moderators, which are both Dan Does Junk and Shop Gremlin.
Oh, okay.
And then anybody else, feel free to mispronounce their names horribly.
I will 100% do that because that's how I work.
Yeah, and that's also the way we work. that's very much how things happen on this stream, is we mispronounce things horribly. So this is also a good chance for all of you to ask questions for Joe. Joe is full of stories. I've known Joe way too long. I met him via Rocky Horror Picture Show, basically a mutual friend.
Technically,
he
doesn't remember this.
No, I
don't. The time we actually met was he was working at Comics and Comics in Citrus Heights at Birdcage Walk.
Yep.
That is when I actually first met him. I walked up because he had some foam dragons.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it was just one there, popping out of the wall.
Right.
And I was doing, interested in puppet stuff, too.
Yeah, because we both took the same puppetry class.
Yeah. And so I asked about who made it, and you were like, oh, it was me and stuff. And then, of course, I went to Comics and Comics all the time. So that is when I remember meeting him, but it's no offense to him that he doesn't remember me, because the guy was meeting tons of people back then at Comics and Comics.
And it was weird at that point in time. People were still like, Odin, I saw you. It's like, it sounds bragging, and I hate that part. There was this point in time when I was at a friend's shop with my back to the door, and someone came in the door just to go, Odin, I saw you from the street. Want to come up and say hi? It's like, hey, how the hell are you? How's it going? It's like, I'm really sorry.
Well, besides having a unique name,
right?
You do have unique features.
Okay.
That it's definitely, I could tell it's Odin.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great thing.
It's a great thing.
Dude,
yes.
You're super unique. You're like a mold of one. They broke
this is not going where I thought I was going to go. Thank you very much. All right. But anyway, so yeah, we originally met there. Let's go back to my story. Let's quit talking about me and talk about my story. 9 Items or Less. This is actually available on YouTube as well as through your channel, or is it not on YouTube currently? So YouTube is not, you're not going to find it. Go to 9itemsorless.com. And this was the first silent film that I helped Joe with way back in 1994.
We started working on it, I think in 93.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But 94 is really where most of it was done.
And just managed to keep working on different projects. And even at one point worked at finally, it took a long time to finally work at the same job at the same time.
Yeah, we were usually...
Yeah, just miss each other.
Well, I mean, Serious Magic, we sort of worked together, but you weren't really working there. You're a contractor.
And you got the job for trade shows because I was trade shows for play and Serious Magic. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited and happy to be able to help out Joe with doing this build for him and doing this stuff for him and his books, which apparently I appear in the first book. Third book. I appear in the third book, which I don't think I've gotten to.
Yeah, well, I talk about you giving him the mad skills of doing what we actually did a year ago, and that was basically aging something, which is what we're going to do here today.
We'll do here today too, as well.
Yeah. So in the book, it is, if you haven't noticed, it looks an awful lot like me.
I did notice that the guy in the book looks a lot like you. I figured that was just ego.
Yeah, it's a big ego.
Okay.
Which he knows isn't really true. I would never name a character Joe. The reason I did was because initially it was going to be like a Mystery Science Theater type of a thing. And so they're always like the characters in it with their name.
Yeah.
And so it was going to be a television show thing. And it was going to basically be the storyline that you read in the book series was going to be what appeared in between the movies. Well, then I realized I had way too much, and it was a lot more aggressive than you'd want for television, and I could do a whole lot more
aggressive of violence
in terms of cost and time wise. What would be available time wise, because those should be short and sweet type thing.
Yeah.
So the character was post-apocalyptic Joe in a cinematic wasteland. So I always hung on to that, and it was me like this. So the character ended up being like that. I would never, ever name a character Joe, even though now I do have a character named Joe, so I guess it's not never, ever. It was
never a plan.
Yeah, it was never a plan. And so I ended up being the character, so which is great because I end up modeling myself to do all the cover art. So I actually, none of that's like AI type stuff. I went through and did all the cover art for... the books, and I based it off of photos off of me, which you can see on the Kickstarter when I go live, because one of the levels is to be immortalized, and so you can be on the cover of one of the episodes for the next season.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I show a picture of me as the Terminator parody versus what I actually drew.
Okay.
And if you didn't notice, when we shared it earlier, all of them were parodies of a cover with the exception of the very first episode.
Right.
They're VHS parodies.
Yeah, they're all, yes. I had noticed, but yeah. Where did you find VHS tapes that is only a foot of leader and there's no tape?
Online.
Online, you're actually able to order VHS tapes with zero tape?
Yeah, and I just wanted it for
you only wanted it for
this,
case.
so it was perfect. It would have been horrible for anything else.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just... the manufacturer's actually set up to do this. I need... quantity with 0 minutes.
No, but I think the reason is because they were colored shells. Yeah. So I think what their presumption is that you're going to pull this out and put in from maybe a black VHS shell that you would normally have. Okay. Because that's, if you're going to get it anywhere, it's going to be black VHS.
Yeah,
is what
much.
you're going to get. So that's my thought.
Okay.
But I don't really know.
Okay.
He's now looking at the tape, deciding what to do.
Deciding what to do.
If you could see in his head, there'd be gear wheels going and stuff like that.
Yeah, cobwebs getting dusted off. So a lot of these parts will probably just
played Fallout for Joe, William Wells. That is correct. You did.
Okay, so we are going to need to keep some of this stuff in here.
Shop Gremlin said that the movie Evolution, they think it was in a yellow VHS cassette.
It could have been.
SpongeBob, I know it was. There was
SpongeBob was, yeah.
SpongeBob ones that were.
Yeah, they made special cassette tapes for different things. I think some of the first Pokemon series were in colored cassettes. But yeah, that makes sense. Evolution would be. Johnny Mnemonic, I think, was an orange cassette.
Yeah,
because it actually had a clear case. So when you put the cassette tape into the slipcover, the upper window became part of Keanu Reeves' head.
That's awesome.
Because the whole point of that story is Keanu Reeves, I have a hard drive wet wired into my head. It's got like 2 terabytes. And anyway.
The Umbrella Corporation says greetings.
Oh, well.
There's some problems there. We better say hello.
We better say hello back. Besides, they might want to do some sort of a collaboration. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Today for with the Umbrella Corporation, I'm making a...
You're making Odin solder? Oh, just kidding. That came from Dan Does Junk.
Yep, he would know better.
You know what?
Dan
His solder will hold. He's not like Dan in his welds, which if you watch...
Different Dan, by the way.
Yeah, different Dan. Dan from Beyond Geek, he's the host of Beyond Geek. He was in the kinetic sculpture race that this outfit came from.
Yep.
And he welded some spikes, and it is not spikes.
He welded spokes onto a
That's
pipe.
the word I'm looking for. And it was the worst welding I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, it was amazingly bad.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't script it. It was that bad.
And then said, shortest movie ever. Yeah. It doesn't even... It definitely is the shortest movie ever. Guy says, I get the feeling you're both really short, like 4'11". Yeah. I don't know where that's coming from, but...
Yeah, I don't know where that's going. Sometimes they have their own, or their... Part of the fun of doing this whole live stream thing, which I don't know how many of you guys know this, there is a delay. We say something, it has to go out into the internet and bounce off space, and then you see it, and then you respond, which we see almost instantaneously. But there's a 30 to 40 second delay or more, depending on where you are in the stream. So that context I don't get. But yeah.
I don't get, but I'm going to say... Okay.
Yeah. In fact, I just saw in the preview window, I just walked off, and even though I'm back and talking now with...
it's at that point?
Yeah.
Oh, because
I
you're
just
looking
came
at
back.
the actual live thing.
Well, I saw just out of peripheral vision, I saw
okay, here
me
we go.
walking away.
This is great. Advixen says, don't tell that to George Miller and Immortal Joe. I think they like that name. This is true. But he's also not... He's George Miller. I don't know if... Does he have a George in the Mad Max? I'm trying to think if there's a George. I don't recall a George character.
No, I don't recall a George character in Mad Max. Plus, most of the Mad Max names are more like online handles at this point.
This is true. This is true.
You know, Wes, I guess, isn't, but still. Because Advixen will correct me on that in a hurry. Thank you, Advixen.
And Ralph, let me wreck your name.
Oh, Ralph is awesome.
Morick! Oi, everyone!
Oi, Ralph! Hey, Joe, Ralph is an awesome guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Ralph.
Yeah, does a lot of metal casting, does a lot of metal reclamation videos.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and is also watching us in his evening.
Nice. Nice.
I'm like tempted to say which country, but all of a sudden I'm realizing I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Well, the moment he says "oi," that's like got to be Europe somewhere, right?
Well, to me, oi was always Jocko, and it was Australia.
Oh, yeah, I guess Australia. But that's because they're from, like, they use more of the British language than we do. Like, even their spelling is, like, they're going to throw a U in color, which we don't, you know?
Well, we dropped the U from color.
Yes. But let's be honest, which one's better, guys?
The U.
Hey! Actually, there's a lot of British things that make a lot more sense.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
I'm probably still saying that wrong, but anyway.
We'll get our torch and put it in here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Those aren't geared to. No, they wouldn't be geared to each other. Those are just the gears to lock it. All right. That's probably good to keep.
Morgan's asking if we're live now. Yes.
Yes.
We are live
right now, Morgan.
You're getting to hear all the kit and caboodle of being live.
And this isn't going to be doctored in any way, shape, or form once it goes out later. But at this moment, right now, we are live. Unless you're watching us in the future.
Then we're not. Or if they scrolled back and they're playing back at the beginning, then we're not live then too.
The stream is monetized. It becomes that whole weird, where are they in the stream? They could be a little behind. But you know, the chat isn't. The chat's real time. So that was brilliant. I'm going to flip the tape over.
Ralph says the Netherlands.
That's what I thought. I was afraid to say it, but that's what I thought. I'm glad I remembered correctly.
Yes. William Wells, have you thought about making a diorama on your favorite movie? His favorite movie's Tremors, right? Still?
Sure, I'll go with that. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
What else would you say?
It's Tremors, yeah.
Okay.
So, sure, yeah, that'd be great. Just desert, that'd be fine. Graboid
coming along to attack.
Just need Rhonda's red truck and a couple of rocks, and that'd be great. That'd be fun. Hey, did William give us a clue or indication if you remembered who he was specifically, or is it just
William? Am I correct or am I wrong? Because I could be wrong.
And what are you correct or wrong about?
Whether it's William Wells in Oklahoma that we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It probably is. Hopefully Muddy shows up, because that's another guy I met in Oklahoma when I went out and did a trade show. When I went out and did a comic out there, Creators Con. Last time I got to see Ace, too.
Well, Steve D's very insistent that color has a U in it.
Yeah, he would be.
You should be very... But I'll tell you what. There's probably now people that are like, no.
No, it does. English color has a U in it.
It does.
The Americans got lazy and dropped it. That's 100% correct.
We screwed up some of the English language and made it harder. And
for some reason still call it English, even if we throw all their tea in the bag.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have for me to make this glow? I've got it taken apart and I'm looking at it. There's not a whole lot of space for batteries. Although I'm sure it's still very doable. Batteries might have to go in the center, which means I can't use an 18650 because there's not going to be enough space. Probably end up having to order little battery packs that'll actually fit in here. But what do you want this to glow? How do you want this to glow? Okay, so I've taken apart a cassette tape and I've looked at it.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do with this next? What do you got for me to play with?
What do I have for you to play with? I have stickers, but that's pointless right now. I do have here, you'll be easier because I have a hand that doesn't work so smooth. Even though I don't think this will be what it is, I just got us, because I know what color he wants to, with a U, he wants to add to it. And so,
okay.
And it's with a G, not a U.
It's with a U.
Well, if you still say color.
Funny thing I was thinking is with a Y, because
yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
With video, but anyway.
RGB in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a green LED strip. It's a COB strip, which is pretty cool. But you can
also cut it.
Yeah, we can cut it every... I
wasn't sure how long you would need.
Right, fair.
I heard the tape sucks to stick it on things, but
yeah, it does actually.
But I figured Odin would figure out something better.
Now, do we want? Is it going to glow from the center? I mean, are we going to use a minimal amount of tape in order to maximize battery life, or do we go around the outside?
I think you get the maximum amount of light
blowing
out of it.
All right. 5 volt, good.
Yeah, it's I got it as USB also.
Yeah.
I was trying to find an LED specifically for this because what I initially grabbed, I after I talked to Odin, wasn't going to be how he 100% envisioned it, so I made sure we got more like what Odin wants out of it, which I actually agreed with the moment he said it out loud, and that was like, I want it to glow green. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So
right.
I had to find something I could get in time, and this works great.
Why would you want it to glow red, Joe?
I didn't want it to glow red, but I wasn't sure what color we were going to go with, really, to be honest with you, until I talked to you about it and you made a decision. He decided to go ahead and go with green. So we're going with green because it actually will make the most amount of sense to do also because of radioactive, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to currently fill up time, and since I'm not going to talk about this right now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my book. Because why not? Because Odin's not here, right?
Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
So my book, Post-Apocalyptic Joe in a Cinematic Wasteland, is 6 books, all compiled together to tell one full story while he searches for that. And what it really is a guy who ends up in the post-apocalypse, basically fighting off movie-inspired monsters from his favorite movies. And there's cloning involved. Government technology, alien tech.
Drones.
It's got it all. Drones, technically. He knows about that.
Yeah. And for those of you who want to go out and experience this book for the first time, I do recommend it. It is a lot of fun. It took me... I was listening to the audiobook. I bought it off of Audible. Plug. But... I started listening to it distractedly, and I kept getting hung up on details. Like, that seems awfully convenient for that to happen like that. And then, so I turned it off, and then I played it again like a week or two later and went, oh, okay. So just let the story unfold, and it'll be okay.
It'll be the first paragraph you're reading will have what really hung Odin up because he came and talked to me about it.
Yep.
And I laughed at him and I said, hey, that's awesome, Odin. You figured out what I was trying to get at. And that was flash blindness was really bugging him. See, that might be a little too bright, but I was like, how bright does Odin want?
This glows really, really well on the set because of how low light the set is. This is great.
Yeah. If we're going to be radioactive, we're going to be radioactive.
Yeah, people can start quoting the song here in a minute. All right, that's cool.
Yep.
Okay, so thankfully I still got my battery backups from the inflatable costumes that I did 18 years ago, or maybe not quite that long. So there was this other USB thing that didn't plug in.
Steve Hall says, hey, Odin!
Hey, Steve!
He didn't say it with any explanation points.
Is that all?
But I gotta imagine he had enthusiasm when he said it in my head. So we're gonna go with
what's in your head.
Bop, bop. Yeah.
All right.
He didn't even capitalize your O, but that's because he's typing online for chatting, so it's all good.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to critique Steve's grammar, are
you? No. I'm just saying is I gotta imagine Steve was super enthusiastic when he said, "Hey, Odin." That's all. And if I'm wrong, sorry, Steve, because I'm not gonna read your next comment that says I am. But the other people will, so it's all good. But if I'm right, go ahead and put that in, and then I'll go ahead and say that. All right.
If I'm right, go ahead and put that in and let me know that I'm right.
And Ace said, we also hung out in Chicago for a day at C2E2.
Oh, we did. I forgot about that. Yes, we did.
Yes, after Oklahoma. And then there was a smiley face with cool glasses, like really cool, like smiley face.
Oh, the cool smiley face.
And then it said, Oklahoma was the best through... Am I reading that?
Best though.
Oh, best though. Yes.
Yes.
I'm actually should be wearing glasses because Oklahoma had cheese.
Yeah.
Cry face of the laughing.
Okay.
Oh, and then a cool emoji.
So Cheese never makes the live streams. He's always busy on Sundays. So hello to future Cheese. But
and everybody's saying hi, Felicia. Hi.
Oh yes. Hi. Felicia is not available today. Felicia is working at a costume shop. Not full-time permanently, but she's working at Broadway Costumes here in Sacramento. And so if you are in the Sacramento area and you want to go bother dear Felicia, your chance is for the next few days until Halloween, because she's helping out for the Halloween season at Broadway Costumes, conveniently located on Broadway in Sacramento.
Yep.
How's that?
It's a cool costume shop.
It is a cool costume shop. It was the primary competitor for Decades when she was working with James at Decades.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty much Decades and Broadway were the two you went to.
Yeah.
There were others, but those were the two big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to name the others because Felicia's at Broadway, so...
Well, there's that, and none of the others are around anymore. Because there used to be Marty's, and there was Capitol Costumes up in Fair Oaks.
Oh, Capitol Costumes was awesome.
Oh, I went there all the time.
Yeah, I used
they
to
were
buy
close.
from them. Yeah, yeah.
And there were a number of other costume shops. There used to be a lot of costume shops before there was Party City and Spirit Halloween and all of that being around. And you could go in and rent costumes. It doesn't seem to be a thing anymore.
But they were like a little bit better than what you would get at Party City.
Yeah, usually
and by a little bit, I mean a lot.
They
of
were
it
usually
better.
a lot better.
Yeah, they were way
yeah.
better costumes.
Okay, well, this is a very good Stranger Things glow because Stranger Things is not a blinding glow. This literally has 4 LEDs in it, and that's it. I see a hot spot, a hot spot, a hot spot, a hot spot, and that's it.
You could totally open it up and see. And you could base yours in the end off of, who cares? We won't tell them.
Johnny 5 disassembled.
They won't see it. He likes breaking things apart, so it'll be fun.
No, I'm not the only one.
Hello at Behind the Scenes Fashion. Dan does junk.
Yes.
So he's basically...
Is behind the scenes fashions here? Or
I guess so. Somewhere in this. So
that's
I guess
Felicia. If behind the scenes
Oh,
fashions
William
here,
Wells. Yeah, you're a friend with Joe on Facebook. Yes, you are.
okay.
Yes, you are.
So that is the William Wells.
I'm pretty sure it's... William's still not telling us everything, but I'm pretty sure it is because I'm pretty sure that's the friend I have on Facebook.
The thing is, at this point, it's
But
all this talk about it and no reward for anyone else who's got freaking clueless.
At all.
So we gotta wait.
We'll stop talking about that. We'll move on.
But
But William, it's great talking to you.
No, if we get confirmation, then or one way or the other, then you should explain why you care about a William Wells in Oklahoma.
Yes. And then, is it
'Cause-
Rebby Shark or Rebel Shark?
I can't see it from here. I'm blind.
R-E-B, I think it's an I or an L. Shark. So it's one of those two. That is a hi, big fan. Watch you with my dad.
Oh,
How
that's
awesome
cool.
is that?
So we hold down Control and you start. Is it Alt?
Oh, yeah. I don't use PCs anymore, even though this is probably this is an internet thing. I can just grow larger and smaller because it's just a web page.
So
I could have just done that, dude.
There it is. All right.
Thank you. That's much better. I'm
Okay.
still going to pronounce all your names wrong.
It is Rebel Shark. He just dropped some of the vowels because who cares?
So, Rebel Shark!
Yes.
We, Odin, appreciate you watching.
Rebel Sharks are cool because they have freaking photon torpedoes on their head.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. You don't mind me mashing two different movies together.
And then, William Wells. What's your channel link, Joe? Well,
Joe, what's your channel link?
my channel link is at that Joe Gillis or at Beyond Geek.
No, this is channel link here on YouTube or
I presume.
okay. You
I'm
have a
presuming.
YouTube channel, don't you?
I do.
You don't really utilize it, but
I'm going to start utilizing it. I wanted to start about 6 months ago. He knows me. I'll talk about something, and then
We've
it
been
takes a
talking about
little
this
bit
for
of
a while.
time
Yeah.
to get to going on it. But in all fairness, we get busy. We have other stuff going on.
Yeah,
in
the
our
whole life thing just hits you like a truck.
Yeah, and so I have been wanting to do TikToks, YouTube video stuff, and everything else like that. And I'm set up for it. And we're at some point going to do a podcast together.
Yeah, you'll get more of us.
Yeah, but life stuff was more important right now. And then I had like book stuff, and I've had, part of my life stuff was sicknesses and stuff.
Did you guys glue one side? No. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's weird. Podcast. So the Beyond Geek podcast is going to happen. We've been talking about it for at least 2 years at this point.
Yes.
And one of the main things that we decided on early on with the Beyond Geek podcast is all members of my Patreon, all members of my Discord will be able to watch and participate with that podcast live. But the podcast will then be edited by Joe and put out for consumption with everyone else.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear a lot more of Joe and I rambling, definitely keep track of that.
Thank you, Shady.
Shady? Oh,
woo!
Cool. So Shady's got a super chat.
Super chat for $4.99.
Nice. Thank you, Shady.
Everyone once in a while needs some love, LOL. Yes.
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 Thank you very much, Shady. And
that's from Shady.
Oh, that's cool.
It wasn't on there, but
okay.
I'm imagining also that Shady wanted to give you a little bit of a hug with that one.
Shady needs a little bit of love too because he's actually going to be out sick for a little bit here.
Oh.
He actually hurts himself a lot.
Oh.
It is a personality trait at this point, but
I will. I can't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Joe is also not completely functional, but
this hand doesn't work right.
Yes, Shady, I will get the bits and pieces fixed on the Odin Makes Minecraft server, so you can spend your sick time on that, get what you want to get done.
That's awesome. Steve D says, "Don't worry about pronouncing names wrong, as Odin and Felicia are experts at it."
100%, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in the Beyond Geek podcast. Oh, yeah, there's just two.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
That's it. And then you've got the switch here, and it does both battery or just direct. So this doesn't charge. It is just a plug-in.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I have it plugged in, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So for the prototype, it would be, I was thinking I could reuse a power bank.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't charge it. It's still brand new in the package, so it probably doesn't have a charge. And Harbor Freight Tools no longer sells this particular model. So we're probably going to be better off ordering smaller battery packs that will fit with charging circuits.
It's a prototype, though.
It's a prototype, though, yeah.
So we can, figure out some stuff, and then Odin will really figure out stuff. See, the thing is Odin, he's fun to be around because he'll walk into a place and he'll go I can do this with this, 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 and it will be something you never ever think of doing with that. So part of his process is always doing. It's not so much planning.
No.
It's jumping in and doing. So I knew whatever we were going to get into, this is if you back the Kickstarter, whatever we're making here is not going to be what it is.
It'll be close.
It'll be close, but he's going to figure out exactly what he wants today. Then he's going to tell me what to get. Then I'm going to get it, and then he's going to put one more together, and then he'll go, okay, this works, and then we'll be good to go, and that will be sort of what the final thing is.
Yeah.
But that's how his process is. If you guys have never watched Odin Makes, which I am pretty sure everybody here has.
People have.
Yeah. It's fun to watch. All right, so I'm just going to read, even though I should probably read ahead. Louis Kazi.
Oh, Louis! He's been helping a lot with the Ghostbusters build.
Oh, okay.
And he even sent me stuff recently.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
He says, Odin Spirit Halloween has permablood green paint that reacts under blacklight if you want to slime up your pack and or uniform. $10, but after Halloween it will be 50% off of the stores.
As long as you get there.
That's a great idea.
That is a great idea. Permablood, huh? So it's okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you actually have something I went a little crazy on. So I created my own pins, which you really can't see here. I guess I could switch.
Hey Joe, have you ever used the Blackmagic 1880?
You would think I would know what to do, and I do.
Yeah, you only own one.
And
plus you
ready?
The DWR.
Now we're live.
No.
Are we not? I have to.
The green means preview. You gotta hit cut.
That's what it is.
There you go.
So did I hit cut? Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Now
so we're over here on the right hand side of the screen now. So this is what the people are putting up with. Closet pins. So this is legitimate. Enamel pin, right? This is it's die struck, and you have enamel bits in here. But specifically with this one, which I can't really easily show, the yellow portions of the nuclear symbol or the tape reel glows in the dark.
Yes.
Yeah, which is cool.
That was sort of important to me.
And then it's fun. He did this specifically to make it look like it's angled. So for me, I really mentally want to force it to be round to turn it so it's round, but you can't because that's the art.
Just done to bug Odin.
Just done to bug Odin, but it's all right. And then he also handed me an iron-on transfer of the same logo today, which is pretty cool.
He doesn't wear hats, and I have that logo on a hat.
Hats don't fit.
Maybe one would. There's got to be one out there that fits.
I found a couple that fit, but
yeah.
usually they're manufacturer's seconds because they were deemed too big. One size fits all, don't.
And then William Wells asked, didn't Yellow Submarine have a yellow case? I think it might have.
It might have.
VHS.
Yeah, I figured that's what he meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might have.
I figured you knew it. He meant. I'm just talking to the people who may not understand when we say that stuff. So there's got to be some people out there that are watching that have not really experienced the VHS era.
I'm sure that's very true.
Yeah.
Because the VHS era died a while ago.
It did. And then Dan Does Junk says, I'm glad I have a good amount of self-control because there are so many nice scrap pieces at job sites I go to that I could easily collect for future projects. We both know that one.
So moving out of my last shop, I filled the dumpster 3.5 times.
Yes.
Filled the dumpster because this is a cool piece. Yeah.
I'll use this one day. Let me hold on to this super VHS cable just in case I find my super VHS player.
I've got one or two still.
I
gotten rid of, a dozen of them, but I've still got one or two.
Yeah. So it's like, you always
I think I might even have the weird little 6-pin connector that connects to the U-matic machines.
Yeah. So
because I happen to know somebody who's got the 3/4-inch U-matic video cassette format.
Yeah, I bought those decks for Voices from the High School.
Yeah, because
it was how I was going to do my cutting versus off of film that time.
Yeah, because the film house would only give you U-matic at that time, right? Which even then, U-matic was very over with at this point in time.
Yeah.
Because this is still very late 90s.
Yeah, I'm trying to find one in stations are I just threw one in the trash last week.
Right.
That's how up to date that was at that point, and that was the best I could get at that point. Right. I was like, this is not very good.
No. Okay, so we need to do.
He's thinking. And then DJ Stumpy says, I still have VHS and can't wait for the limited edition Aliens Romulus coming out on VHS. Me either.
I just told him about that this week. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. A few of the Kickstarters I back, they do VHS cassettes for the independent films and stuff. And it's awesome.
I need nippers, so I'll be right back.
All right, we're gonna talk about VHS, I guess. So I based my covers on my books off of VHSs because there's a lot of movie references, and technically, the movies that we deal with at the beginning, especially, are going to be on VHS cassettes. So that's why it's VHS, and that's where it's coming from. And that's because, this all takes place eventually down below under Earth in a missile silo, technically, but it's really a complex. He'll get mad. Joe will get mad if you call it a silo. All right.
It's a silo where they store grain and missiles.
Yeah. Well, he bought a Titan 1 missile complex. And see, what's really cool is, I don't know if you know this because you probably haven't read the behind the scenes of it. Post-Apocalyptic Joe.
Okay, he did.
So he bought a Titan 1 missile complex.
Okay.
And see where that's the reason that's cool is because he's based in Sacramento, California, in the United States, where we're at. And the reason is because this is my hometown and I love Sacramento. And so there actually is 3 Titan 1 missile complexes outside Sacramento.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. Beale Air Force Base is who had it.
All right. Has all 3 or just...
Yeah, all 3 were under Beale Air Force Base.
Okay. That I probably didn't know.
And my daughter's boyfriend worked there, and I'm like, have you heard about the Titan 1 missile complexes? And he was like, no. Do you know anything about them? No.
Do you care?
Do you care? No.
Are you interested? Is it interesting to talk to you at all?
No, he's cool because he's an airplane mechanic for the military,
Okay.
so
Cool.
he knows a lot. Like he could explain the whole probably duct tape on. That was my favorite thing. Like this dude just released like a thing explaining interesting things that people freak out about on airplanes, and one of them is just looking out the window and seeing what you think is duct tape.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, that's not duct tape.
No.
Yeah. But it was cool because I was like, thank you for saying that, because I think I would look out the window and have a freak out moment. I'd be like William Shatner, in the Twilight Zone, sweating and worrying and stuff, because I'd be like, when's that duct tape coming off? Even though duct tape's awesome.
I probably put a slightly more thought process into it. Unfortunately, I like reading your books. Where I look at it and go, there's duct tape on the plane. Second thought, this can't be the first time they put duct tape on a plane, so it's got to be okay.
Well, not necessarily. Planes go down. Maybe all those were the ones that were the first ones with duct tape.
Probably not, because if that's what it was, then they would put a duct tape on it. But anyway.
Yeah, maybe the airlines don't want you to know this, though.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't.
They're like, we got to slap this off, get this plane. I mean, the odds of it crashing is pretty slim, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, we've only had a couple.
Yeah, one or two. No one's gonna miss them. Had a similar thought process. I got to be part of a World War II documentary on the island of Crete. Right?
Yeah.
You remember this?
Yes.
So I actually got to go to Crete
Christos.
for a month with Christos.
Yeah.
I actually got to go to Crete for a month for all of November back in like 2002 or 2003. And because we went out there to interview veterans, interview civilians that were there at the time. Which effectively makes them veterans more or less, because when the whole country's, putting up a resistance. Anyway, there was one guy on the island who had a fireworks license, so we got in contact with him in order to try and do a little bit of pyrotechnic stuff on set. And so we end up going to the propane store. So, because everything's little stores, right? I'm used to big superstores that have everything. No, everything is very specialized. We go into what is effectively an old-style gas station where out front you have parking, but there's no pumps anymore. And inside is a little building, a little kiosk that's an office where he's got all of his propane tanks stacked up. And you buy the little butane things for your coffee, and you get your propane tanks refilled, or you swap them out. So John Pasa and I walk into this place, and it stinks of propane. If you've ever smelled propane, this whole thing just reeks of that. And we're talking to the guy about, I need to get this refilled. And he goes, oh, okay. And he pulls out a cigarette, and it's bouncing in his mouth. And he has a lighter that sparks, and he has a lighter that has fluid. So he's got all three of these things trying to time them out so he can light his cigarette. And John just kind of looks at me, and I look at him, and I look at the ashtray that is mounted full of cigarettes, like, well, he's done this before. And
where was this careful Odin when he was asking me to put explosives on the back of my head? Do you remember that?
Yes, I just put some outside.
Yeah, so he needed some realistic people being shot in heads.
Yeah.
So me being the guy I am, he's like, hey, I want to try this out, and I'm like, sure, why not? Why not? And so he puts a little squib. That's not a squib.
Technically, it was a squib, but it was a homemade squib.
But a homemade one.
It was a packet of gunpowder, I think, in a bottle cap.
It's something.
Like a metal bottle cap, I think I was trying to use, because I figured that'd be enough of a plate that it wouldn't hurt. Anyway, did this whole thing with the blood bag, because we were trying to figure out how to do bullet hits on people for the same documentary. This is what was still in the States. And yeah, Joe, being the incredible sport that he is, sure, let's tape an explosive to the back of my head, because you've got a license. And it failed horribly. I mean, it worked, but it didn't look good at all, and it just made a huge mess. So we ended up doing, we just scrapped all the blood stuff, because it was just a long process of trying to get that to work. And then there's the issue of Crete. This one guy, Andreas, was the only guy that had the license for fireworks out there, because guns are not allowed legally in Crete at all. So all that's too hard to get a hold of. We ended up using a paintball gun. But it wasn't just paintball. At this same time, 24 was a big show. And I'm watching this Keith Sutherland television show called 24, and they're doing bullet hits in the LA Coliseum, and it's like, okay, there's nothing there. No. There's just this, ricochet effect, but I could see there was nothing set up beforehand. So I'm looking into it, and I found out that they make plastic capsules that are paintball size that you just put talcum powder or Fuller's Earth or magnesium powder and grit, because those two things will make a spark. Basically, there's probably more to it than that. But so we ended up putting baby powder or talcum powder into these plastic capsules, and then shoot things, and you get the ricochet hit. So now we need to shoot actors. I'm in Crete. We've got the paintball guns because that went through customs no problem, and we were even able to get the compressed air bottles there because they didn't want to do compressed air through airplanes, but. In order to protect the actors, it basically was a triple layer piece of cardboard with maybe a bit of like plastic in it and duct tape. So it had enough going on that we could form it around someone's body, and then you could shoot it. It had enough resistance it would break and it wouldn't hurt them. But the range was about 6 feet, about that, and that was it. Because more than that, the talcum powder would fall off to one side of the pellet because you couldn't fully fill it. So it would go out straight a little bit, and then it would just curve like mad. It's like, oh yeah, there's no way we can safely do this. So I had to be right there, right out of camera range, like zero.
That sounds like the best job.
It was great. Yeah, shooting people. And some guys didn't want to do it. Great, don't force them. Some guys like, oh yeah, I want to do it. It's like, okay. And so I'm in Crete, right? We're doing this whole thing, and I realize the next day we're going to have these volunteer actors showing up, dressed up as Germans, dressed up as British soldiers, dressed up as Crete civilians, and we're going to have to shoot them.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's like, okay, what happens if I miss? Right? It's going to hurt. It's going to be bad.
Once again, he thinks about this stuff after me where he singed my hair mightily good.
I forgot about that. Your hair grew back. I can't see,
Yeah.
So, gun, leg, right to my shin. Biggest freaking bruise I've ever... Because this isn't a normal paint pellet, right? This is a hard plastic capsule that snaps together.
It's no big deal.
So I was like, okay, don't miss.
And if you want to look it up, it's the 11th hour.
Yes, the thing's called the 11th hour. It was a lot of fun to work on. As time progressed, I got done with the production and I got out of there. But it was a fantastic experience being in Crete. It was fantastic getting to talk to the people. It's the only time I've been in Europe, and getting to go and not do the touristy thing at all.
Yeah.
Talking to people about their experiences that were, at that time, 60 years before, 40 years before, 60 years before. And
still people alive at that
there's
point.
Still people alive, yeah. And going into their homes and going into like a beekeeper's home up in the mountains because, not only was his father part of this thing, but stuff happened outside of his house. And we're up in some of the battlefields with a historian that's been following this for forever, who's never been able to get out to Trujillo, I think it was called, the plateau. And one of the biggest veterans was named George. Sorry, I'm way tangent here. He was a real estate guy in Sacramento, right? So this historian guy could talk to George. George had a great memory and talked specifically about how he had Germans there, and he had his gun that had 5 rounds, and he shot one. Now the Germans know where he is. The second one jammed. Oh. And so he had to clear the jam, and then bang, 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 and George lived. No one else did. So we're finally at the location, and George explained where the rock was and everything else. He didn't go with us. And so the historians out there with the metal detector found the bad shell, found 2 of the other fired shells from the description of the rock that George gave him. It's like, this is so much credit to George's memory.
Crazy.
So anyway, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Okay, we're going to get a little serious for a second because I just saw this and I want to throw it out there. DJ Stumpy
DJ
said,
Stumpy's great.
I'm turning in for a little while, but sadly my daughter is in critical care ward fighting for her life. Though there's not much hope, please all say prayers for her. So if you could say a prayer for her, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, wish her well. Yeah,
yes.
I'm sorry, Stumpy.
Yeah, we're really sorry about that. That's I don't know what to say beyond tough. Yeah. But I wanted to get that out there to get the prayers going for her.
Absolutely. DJ was a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do that.
And then, of course, everybody's giving their love after that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, community.
Community.
That's awesome of you guys.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's a rough one. We've a lot of us have been there. It's tough. I haven't had a kid though, and that would be really tough. So I really feel sorry.
I remember my dad being in the hospital.
Yep.
So,
yeah, we both had parents like that, and that was tough. I don't know where to go from that.
Yeah, so now we'll talk about something happy.
Sorry, DJ. I feel like Stumpy. I feel like bad. Oh, DJ Stumpy's still on for a little bit.
Okay.
So says DJ Stumpy said, I think to everybody commenting, not so much us.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Means a lot. As some of you may know, my daughter is disabled and undergone with an undiagnosed condition.
Oh, that's...
Because she can't swallow. Sadly, she had trouble clearing her airway early Saturday morning. Sorry, Odin.
Oh,
no reason to apologize to Odin. I can tell you that. He's
trash can. No, it's
but,
okay.
Yeah, we're really sorry to hear that. That's tough.
DJ
Stumpy then goes, don't want to dampen your show. I'm watching to find out something different to focus on. So I guess it's time to
go on to something happier.
To go on something a little happier.
Okay.
Even though our prayers are with you.
Yeah.
So William Wells would like y'all.
We would like to know.
Y'all should get a booth at SoonerCon at Norman, Oklahoma.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. Maybe one day. Sometimes I get booths and then he comes along.
Right.
Set up for the booth. So you never know. Or maybe he'll just go on his own, which is more likely because he's a hot commodity nowadays. In multiple ways. All right. So, I think that's we're caught up here. What do you got going on here, Odin? I saw you drilling.
Yeah. What I'm working on right now is I'm not going to focus hard on soldering and making the tape be completely self-contained.
Okay.
Because I want to get it done within the time frame of doing a live stream.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I didn't plan ahead. I don't have all the parts. In fact, I just lost one of the springs, but that's
well.
Not
we got
critical.
more. We got more parts you can pull from if you need to.
So I've got a small section of the LED strip, and it seems to me like 3 sections is plenty just to line up the center.
Okay.
And provide a glow that is probably going to be brighter than what Stranger Things had.
That was a mighty bright glow.
That's a mighty bright glow. That this had or the Stranger Things had.
No, this one.
Yeah. So,
it was like, I did not think it was going to be that bright.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of working on that a little bit. Going to put it back together, and then we really get to start working on the art portion of it. Get past the physicality of how is this thing going to glow? All right, now we get to have fun. And you brought, I think you brought some diffusion.
I did.
Okay,
let me grab it for you, sir.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I kicked it at one point and went, oh wait, that's not my foam.
It's diffusion.
It is actual, diffusion that we can use for.
And it's good. It's a good thickness. It might diffuse too much, but I don't think so. Once you go to a smaller one,
you can't see anything on.
Yeah.
No, this is fine. So diffusion paper on set is used to diffuse light. And then actually every single one of your LED TV monitors that you're watching has diffusion in it as well. It just disperses the light. Basically, if you're outside and you've got the sun, you've got harsh shadows because you have a harsh light source. If it's overcast, you have diffusion, and if you look down at the ground, you don't really have any shadows. This does the same thing for small bits of light. It goes from having a hot spot that may cast shadows or is easy to see to diffusing it and just generally lighting the area.
Yeah.
Yep.
Since the beginning, no, it's correct. It's since the beginning of film, we've been using one form or another, even when they weren't really, like during the silent era, they would they would actually still have diffusion, but it was just above them, not necessarily using lights out in the daylight to provide that diffusion through like a silk or something to that effect.
Right.
Which we still do use too when we go out in the field
do.
sometimes.
I don't think.
All right. Let's see here.
Maybe there's only one spring. Am I thinking wrong? Oh, it is only one spring. Huh.
Steve D, when are you building the rest of your new workshop backdrop? Soon.
Yeah, soon. Funds. It 100% comes down to funds, and I will have some of that in next week in order to start buying some of the parts and start making that happen. I wanted it to happen a little faster, but there's a lot of other things going on at the same time, and really it comes down to having the funds to buy the lumber in order to get it built.
Yeah.
That's most of it. It's a little more
And
to it
time.
than that. And time.
A little bit of both. He didn't tell you this whole month he's been super duper busy, too.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have happened this month anyways.
No, just this past week, the
October's
first
not
couple times.
not
that
a
I've
build
been
a
able to-
set. Yeah.
No.
No, that's not a build a set month for Odin. Benin Lynch says,
Oh, yeah.
Hey people! It looks like Italy flag. Smiley face, wink, tongue out. Sorry I'm late. What I miss? Let's just update everything for people now.
By the way, Lynch, he's colorblind, so no offense on the Italy thing.
Sean Grimden says, it is 1 o'clock. Do you have any mail? Question mark.
Question mark. Oh, it is 1 o'clock now, is it? Oh, it's past 1 o'clock. Okay. Well, I do. This will delay the build a little bit, but which I've been delaying anyway. Sorry.
He's gonna just kick it out like in 2 seconds.
Yeah, I wish. Maybe. But the paints are there. Okay, good. At 1 o'clock, traditionally on my live streams, I like to open up viewer mail.
Viewer mail time!
Now, I don't actually have viewer mail, but what I do have is something that I thought you might get a kick out of as well.
Okay.
Because last night, Shock Roman and I went to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Ah, yes. Here in beautiful downtown Sacramento.
And not only that, it was at the Colonial Theater.
Yes.
So we got ourselves a, they made us a, is this? No, I thought it was a bag. It wasn't laminated. So I got our collectible art print of from Amber's Sweets. It is the shadow cast that was working with Rocky Horror Picture Show. If you aren't familiar with a shadow cast is, this is the term that's come up for the performers who do Rocky Horror in front of the movie while it's playing on the screen. They end up calling themselves a shadow cast because they're shadowing what's on the screen. Inversely, if you're an old guy like us and you want to know what the heck cosplay is the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where you dress up like characters and act out the parts. So there's a lot going on with the history of Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. One of the things that they've always done with Rocky Horror is audience participation. Right?
Yes.
What made this movie become long-lasting, what made this movie be, next year is 50 years in the theater.
Yeah.
Is when it went to midnights, which happened very quickly.
It failed initially.
Oh, it failed hardcore. People started yelling lines back to the screen. And then people started going dressed up as the characters so they could yell lines and ask questions that the characters would effectively answer. Because there's points when they're having a dramatic moment, and yes, that's a dramatic moment type of a thing. So during that blank spot, somebody would yell out, "Hey, do you do this horrible thing?" Yes, I do, in the moment. So that became this call and repeat thing that they would do, and it was all part of Rocky Horror. As part of that participation, they started bringing props. People would bring things to interact with what was going on the screen. Early on, the heroes, Brad and Janet, get a flat tire. They're trapped in the rain. She brings out a newspaper to keep the rain off of her hairdo. So in here, there's a little piece of newspaper. At this point, and there's still theaters that hand out bags like this. At this point, there are theater-approved props. Rice and toast aren't usually.
Oh, they're good. Yeah, that makes sense to remove those.
It's food. It's
I was also a theater manager.
Yeah,
I would've been pissed at that.
Right. So what Amber Sweets did with conjunction with the Colonial Theaters, put together an approved prop bag that those of us who had VIP tickets could purchase or came as part of the ticket. And then at the appropriate times in the movie, you have the things to interact with. So there's a few of them in here. Shop Gremlin kept theirs closed.
Nice.
So we can actually see
it.
For opening
live
viewer mail.
So fun fact, Colonial Theater, which Matthias Bombal, who was in Night Items or Less, as the cashier, he had that theater for a while with this guy Joe. Not me, Joe, a different Joe.
Sogar, right?
And I actually helped him because he ran Rocky Horror Picture Show over and over and over, trying to get the world record for the most live performances in a row. And he needed help, so I actually was the projectionist for a lot of the hours I came after I was off work and ran the projection for him.
Did he do it, or did they
they didn't
get it scheduled right?
He did it, but I think that there was some other thing that caused it to not be legit or something.
Yeah, he didn't notify Guinness he was trying.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, so like he didn't get the world record, but technically we did.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember that because it ran for days.
Yeah, it was days. Yeah, because I came in, it was running 24 hours a day, just cycling through.
It's only 100 minutes long. The movie's not long, so to cycle it through like that's more than 12 viewings in a day. Yeah.
So that theater, I actually threaded and ran that on projection.
All right, that's cool.
At that particular theater.
Now, I was trying to explain this to Shop Gremlin last night to the best of my memory. That theater doesn't have the platter system. It's still using cigarette burn camera switch, right?
Oh, no. He had a platter system.
Oh, he had a platter system. Oh, okay.
But he did, a lot of them have that, which if you watch Fight Club, which some people haven't seen that are watching this.
But it's part of Fight Club.
They talk about that.
Yeah, because one of the characters works at the theater, so he explains the cigarette burn. The idea is there's only so much time they can fit on a film reel, about 20 minutes.
Yeah, about 20 minutes.
And old art house theaters still have two projectors set up next to each other, and when one gets towards the end, the union theater op has to watch for what's called the cigarette burn, because that's when he knows to flick the switch to start the other one, so the audience shouldn't see the camera switch, and now he can load up the next 20-minute reel. He can rewind and load up the next 20-minute reel. Going to a platter system, you have an employee that comes in, assembles all these 20-minute reels, and then the whole movie can just play out pretty much unsupervised.
Yeah, well,
pretty much.
Well, yeah, you got to start it off right and check it. But yeah, it's like 5 to 6 reels typically for a movie. Yeah.
Then we can go down a rabbit hole of platters. But anyway, what's in the bag? So we talked about newspaper. So inside is a small bit of newspaper that isn't newspaper. I thought this was pretty cool. This is...
that is really cool.
It's the comics. So this is kind of cool. It's the same page I got and the one that I actually opened up and used. This seems to be like sandwich wrap or burger basket wrap that fast food place could use.
Yeah,
but
I could eat off this, I bet.
Yeah, you can. It says biodegradable, and I think it's food safe ink. But in the movie, Janet puts this over her head, so you give that out because it's like one of the first music numbers or second music number to protect her from the rain. And then also during that portion, traditionally, because everybody used to smoke, the song's called "There's a Light," and so when they get into the chorus, everyone would bring out the lighters and click open the lighters like a concert, right? But they gave out these little LED lights.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So instead, you had these safe LED lights, and there was a ton of them in the theater. Glow sticks and LED
don't
lights.
Most people have them on their phone now? Like,
yeah, basically.
I guess I don't. I honestly don't. So I would have.
You don't have.
I would have used that. I don't. I need to get like the lighter app or something. I mean,
I've
never done that on my phone.
Most people just turn on the flashlight and do the flashlight.
Is that what they do? Not they wouldn't go all out and actually do the lighter.
No, I'm sure.
Cooler.
I'm sure some people do. But
okay.
Weird Al actually works
that
into his concert where it's like, bring out your phones. We can do the phone. So that's phones are more common now than that. So there was a little light in here. There's 6 total. There's a point when Dr. Frankenfurter, the whole thing is kind of a takeoff of Frankenstein. Creates Rocky, this perfect man, and during the talk about it, snaps his pink glove. So there's a pink glove in every one of them, so you can snap along. Frank does it twice. You can snap along with him.
Nice.
And then what's the next one in order here? Oh, it's noisemakers. Same scene. Everyone gets excited. Rocky's working.
Yes.
It worked. So. There was lots of these and the clicking noisemakers. I heard some of those in the audience too. So yeah, it's kind of fun that all this stuff was in here. The most fun thing that they have, that Rocky Horror has done plenty of times, and at this point, Blue Man Group does it, but I don't think because of Rocky Horror, it's toilet paper. So what is toilet paper? Why is toilet paper?
Gold!
It's gold!
Especially during COVID.
There's a character named Scott. He is Dr. Scott. He's a whatever. He shows up in the second half of the movie and actually breaks through the wall like, hey, Kool-Aid Man, which somebody made a comment of earlier, not in conjunction to this. And there used to be a toilet paper manufacturer named Scott. And so it just became, which they may still be around, but I don't know.
They are.
They are? Okay. So Scott Paper's still around. So great Scott, and everyone would just throw toilet paper. And that was great fun. And toilet paper was in the air for 2 minutes easy during this. So many going back and forth. I launched mine out of the bag, and I'm watching more come. And as I sit there, it's like being the baseball game. Oh, thunk, I get another one. It lands right in my lap. And the guy next to me laughs. And I undo it. Hook it again. So, yeah, I walked out with toilet paper on my shoulders. So
Could have teepeed a house.
Oh, yeah.
You guys had enough rolls there.
Oh, there was so much in the air. It's great. It was one of those points of pride in the older theaters, especially I was at the Sac Inn Theater, which had a really high ceiling, to throw the toilet paper and hit the ceiling. Yeah.
Yeah, and Colonial is an old school theater in Sacramento. Most people in Sacramento would go to, are more used to the Crest. But Colonial has still ran, especially since Matthias and
Especially since Matthias took it over.
Yeah. It's here or there you'll still have movies running there.
Colonial still cool. Colonial runs concerts, runs movies, and they're very active. The fun trivia Matthias told me. So there is a Tower Theater in Sacramento, which inadvertently a lot of you have heard of because Tower Records came from the Tower Theater because he was selling the singles out of the jukebox that he would get from the Tower Cafe attached to the Tower Records. It's attached to the Tower movie theater, which is why it's called Tower Records.
And the first Tower Records was across the street.
And the first Tower Records was across the street.
Tower Theater here.
Tower, according to Matthias, the Tower Theater had a rule on the books that no other theater could be built within 2 miles of the Tower Theater. So when the Colonial got built, which was right around the same time, it's built like 2 miles and 1 foot from the tower. So they are within guidelines, but right there.
Well, when it comes down to it, probably, and I don't know, I'd have to ask Matthias because he is literally a historian on this stuff.
Yeah, he is.
It's those areas where like you can't run the same movie as the theater within a certain area.
I think
it was probably that aspect.
That aspect
because you don't want to be in the same.
But because of this 2 mile radius that Tower had, and it was very specific something for Tower, from what I remember from his story, that was part of it. At this point, there are regions, or at least there used to be. The UA Theater doesn't have what the Century Theater has, not because they're different chains. It's because the two theaters are too close to each other, and the distributors don't want the same movie in too many places.
But put it on 17 screens, please.
Yeah, but put it on 17 screens in your one theater. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was fun.
Which, speaking of VHS, on that, the Hollywood Video I managed was down the street from that.
From Colonial?
Colonial.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. It was on Broadway there. Yeah.
So the last thing that was in the bag are playing cards.
Woo!
Because the very end of the movie, Frank is reminiscing about the things that went wrong during the movie, and he's got a line where he says, "Cards for sorrow, cards for pain." Those are lines from the song, and so people would usually throw cards of some sort, and playing cards are easy enough. And again, it becomes this thing. I was never that good at throwing cards. I'm not Gambit, but I knew guys that could just
huck them
and make them stick in the ceiling.
Yeah.
The Sac Inn Theater had cards stuck in the 30-foot ceiling. It's like, how do you do that? I can't do that anyway. So it was really cool to get to do all this. It was extremely nostalgic for me to get to go back to a live cast Rocky in Sacramento. One of the tech guys was one of the light guys for Sac Inn, the cast I was in.
Okay.
I think he came after I left, but still, it was like, oh, wow.
It's a theater that's no longer around, too.
It's a theater that's no longer around, not at all. But this guy's just constantly been doing Rocky Horror in one form or another since. He just kept going. He was always tech. He was never one of the shadow cast. But still, whatever. Those people are highly important. But yeah, it was really fun. A lot of the call and repeat lines that I hear, a lot of the ones that I remember, we're throwing out a lot of them from the old audience participation album. But what was really kind of funny is, from my memory, it was a lot quieter. It used to be so loud you couldn't hear.
The Colonial was quieter, even though it was packed?
It was packed, but the number of people that are in there are used to watching a movie.
Yeah, we got to be quiet in a movie, but not for Rocky Horror. It's okay to yell. In fact, highly encouraged.
It's highly encouraged to yell.
Yeah.
And I remember at Sack In and Birdcage, you couldn't hear the movie. You could hear the songs, but a lot of the lines, and especially the minimal sound effects, you couldn't hear. No.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sack In was a big theater. Now, you didn't always have the big auditorium. You had one of the smaller ones usually because they would run like Pink Floyd or whatever in the bigger one typically.
Also, the big one had like Dolby sound, and the small one was mono.
Yeah.
That's okay. Rocky was in mono, so who cares?
There you go.
Yeah. So that was really fun. And then, of course, they had costume contests, and they drug it out. We had VIP tickets. We were able to get in and sit down, and I think at 7:15. There was 45 minutes of VIP, which allowed you to have photos of the cast and everything else. So 8 o'clock, general admission got in.
Yeah.
And then the MC started doing his thing, which is like watching one of my live streams where the guy just won't shut up. And that stretched out for 40 minutes. And then the movie started.
Okay.
And then they had an intermission, which ran 15 minutes. Then they had a costume contest for non-Rocky costumes and then Rocky costumes. And that ran, however, we got out at like 11:30. Right, we were in there for 4 hours.
Yeah, but back in the day, he's whining. He's
not really whining.
He's gotten old because back in the day, it wouldn't have started till midnight.
Well, I'm not trying to whine. It was awesome.
I know
Amber
you're not
Sweets
trying to
turned
whine.
it into an event, turned it into a thing, and it was awesome to go. They're going to do it again in Halloween, not Halloween, but Valentine's Day. I am interested in going again next year because it's the 50th anniversary. But anyway, that's what we were last night. I thought you might get a kick out of this as well. Sorry I didn't let you open it. I just kind of went with it.
I messed up here.
You're doing okay.
Because I wanted to make sure I got all of these. So we had some super chats going on here.
Right, I see.
So they're important. We're gonna give them some love, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to pop out the chat. So
and I screwed up here.
You're all right. You're just trying to move it around, and now I'm trying to help. And I'm blind.
We're both blind. We should be wearing glasses, but when you're doing certain things, the glasses hinder you.
We're both nearsighted, so
gosh dang it, maybe. Oh, it's just there. Okay.
Anyway,
I got it. I do know some things about this. Okay, so sporadic amnetic.
Oh, him. Yeah. Amnetic. Yeah.
5 pounds.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. That's way better than $5 too.
Yeah, it is.
And they said, I think it's amnestic.
Amnestic?
Yeah. I'm gonna mispronounce it because I know you want that. Did you wait outside the theater with anticipation?
Yes. We showed up early, and we were actually still in front of the theater because the line went around the block. It went down to the corner of the block and turned. So we did get there early, which meant we were there even earlier. I think we got in line about 6:30, cool. Standing outside. And yes, it was great fun. There's a little store right next door, like a goth store or a rock store, where all the clothing they sell is black with silkscreen on it, right next to the theater. So they had set up a little table outside with all the Rocky Horror stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was really cool. And then members of the cast and members of the people who helped put this thing on came out and took my pictures for social media, which was like, okay, that's fun. Not because I'm Odin Makes, just have you seen the movie before? Yeah, I used to be in a cast back in '89 to '92 on 2 different theaters here in town, neither one of which exists anymore. and so that was great fun talking to them. And they had a security guard that won people down, which that was new. But yeah, we stood outside.
Definitely new.
Yeah. But we got to stand outside. One of the best Rocky Horror costumes. There were 2 very creative Rocky Horror costumes that showed up for the costume contest. There were a lot of people that were dressed up as characters.
Yeah.
As you should, right? That's the main thing you're going to do. One person showed up as something that was on screen but was not necessarily a character,
Oh.
and the other person showed up as something that was mentioned but was never on screen.
Oh.
Yeah, both of which are cool. Those two came in first and second for the costume contest. The first person who easily had fan favorite had found a giant pair of inflatable lips and had made a big piece of paper to go. It was like a pool toy, right? And put a big piece of paper behind it to make the teeth. So she was just the lips.
Nice.
The movie starts out with a big pair of lips on a black screen singing the first song. Yep. And everyone just chants lips, right? Because that's how the movie's going to start. So she came dressed as lips.
That's awesome.
The other one came dressed in a black set of mechanic's jumper, like a one piece with embroidered flames all at the sides, big horns, and a big box end wrench, because she was the satanic mechanic.
Oh, nice!
Which is a line from one of the songs in the movie. Is, you know, I was expecting a satanic mechanic, but you showed up, basically, right?
Yeah.
And so they were the satanic mechanic. Oh yeah, and they won, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And what's funny is they weren't even picked. The way they did the costume contest was good. They had 20 people on stage, and there was 2 hosts, and each host picked their 3 favorites. And then from those 3 favorites, the audience did the clap off for who's going to win.
Okay.
So you had everybody, you had who's in the running, and then who actually wins. The satanic mechanic wasn't picked because the MC and the other person didn't get it. They didn't think through why they were there. And so the one Janet that was up there said, well, why did you kick him off? He was this. It's like, holy crap! And they like grabbed him before he even got all totally off the stage. No, I'm breaking my own rules. We got 7 tonight. You know?
That's awesome.
And they won.
Taking it all.
Yep.
Well, you got a couple other...
I saw those.
Yeah. So check it out. Dan Does Junk gave
wow.
you $20 for funds for the new shop. Thank you. That is awesome. And then, is it Benin?
Yeah, Benin Lynch.
Benin Lynch, 10 euros, which is still better than US dollars.
Oh, by far.
New shop funds. So thank you so much.
Lynch has played a lot with us on Among Us Fridays. We're doing a lot of Among Us games. And yeah, that's awesome. Thank you both. That's amazing. I appreciate that. That helps a lot, actually. Yeah.
And then Advixen says, hey, Joe, speaking of Tim Curry, which is freaking phenomenal.
Frankenfurter in the movie.
Frankenfurter in the movie. Ever think about dressing up as a Muppet movie? Treasure Island, Tim Curry. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Tim Curry is like one of the greatest actors. Which one of my favorite costumes you ever built was Tim Curry. You know? Yeah. I'll let him tell the story because it's pretty cool.
I'll try to be quick about it too.
Yeah. Okay, Shop Gremlin says, the back row! With obscene gestures.
With obscene gestures for the back
row.
So
we're not going to... I'm not going to say what that finger was. He won't either. But anyone who's seen it knows.
It's a very special finger.
Yeah.
One of the Rocky Horror traditions, especially early on in the movie. I think maybe they even like mentioned the back row as one of the lines. So everyone would just yell out, F you, back row, only they're not censoring themselves. And then usually... what we used to do in Sack Cannon Birdcage, the back row would then yell back, F you, front row, and then everyone else would yell, F you, I'm in the middle. So, yeah, fun.
And then Steve D is wondering what characters you both dressed up as last night.
I dressed up as a YouTuber. I just went in comfortable clothes.
I was making fun of him before the stream about that exact same thing. I'm like, you would think the dude dresses up all the time. No, he will get dressed up, especially if there's no like pants in the back. But yeah, he typically plays Odin Abbott very well.
I usually do that very consistently and very well.
I think that will be my costume one year. I need to make you and just be you.
We've joked
That'll
about
be
that.
Hilarious.
So the Tim Curry costume that I have done and I've done twice is Legend. So Tim Curry was the main Red Devil named Darkness in the 1985 movie called Legend with Tom Cruise, directed by Ridley Scott. And so I made one for myself out of ripped up t-shirts and old couch foam and latex. And then another friend, Andy Wood, wanted one made because he borrowed it at one point, and then he wanted one made that would fit him. So we did a head cast, and I did a face sculpt, and I did like a 5-piece plaster mold to do this. And it worked really well, and he wore it for 2 or 3 years until it really just started falling apart. But we actually took that costume, flew to Texas to a Rocky Horror convention so he could be in the costume contest.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because it'd be fun, because it was open for all these. Same issue. The judges didn't get it. Why is there a devil here?
They didn't get Tim Curry aspect.
Yeah, it's like, it's Tim Curry. And everyone there was like, it's Tim Curry.
I remember you being in that costume besides the height you got.
Yeah.
Your eyes were really hard to look at. Like, I had a really hard time looking him in the eyes because he was wearing contacts with it.
Oh, yeah, huh?
You had your contacts with that outfit, right?
I think so.
Am I remembering the right outfit? I'm pretty sure you had it with that outfit.
I got contacts till later, but I probably ended up wearing it with one of those.
Oh, yeah, you might have worn it at some, but those were hard to look at you. I'm like, I'm having such a hard time looking at you in the eyes. My eyes up here. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Okay. Sporadic music.
You'll get there.
I have the 35th anniversary edition of RHPS, that's Rocky Horror Picture Show for the cool kids, on Blu-ray. Sounds like I'm going to need to buy the 50th anniversary now. Yeah, I bet you there's a lot.
I wouldn't mind getting the 50th anniversary. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Apparently, the Blu-ray's got a number of different soundtracks on it because it has the original mono. It has there was a stereo remaster at one point, and then they did their own audio for that, and has a commentary from Patricia Quinn and Riff Raff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm curious what the 50th is going to do.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And then Austin Lips. Hey, Odin and Joe, how is your day today? Are you in the garage? Sorry about the bad spelling words. Sorry, no problem. I totally got yours. And I have a hearing problem, which I actually talk about in my book because I just gave the character my problem.
Makes it easy.
I am a horrible speller. So, he's not the greatest speller either. But
I enjoy the fact that Joe wants to bust my chops about how I only dress up as Odin, when I'm going out all the time. Yet Joe finally writes himself a series of books, and who's the main character?
Me.
And what's the main character's ailments?
Mine.
Yeah. Thank you for going with what you know. Do you understand now?
What's great is I can now dress up like myself.
Yeah.
And then just be like, me. I should have brought one of the other things because I actually have some of the other aspects of what I want to build the other characters out of. Because there's clones involved. And one of them, I have the hair. I have everything to make them. Okay. And he's the closest to Joe, even though, that was good.
That was perfect.
Whereas the other guys, I'm still working on theirs because there's a lot more involved with sculpting and stuff.
Oh, right.
But I have the outfit for one of the guys. But the other guy, I'm building a head for.
Right.
Gradually over time.
Yeah, I remember you originally talking about this. You wanted to do this as a web series. You wanted to do this as a video series.
Yep.
This was a COVID project, I think, initially.
Yep. Yeah. So basically, spoiler alert, who cares? It was going to be, I initially came up with it, the very first thing before it became a TV show aspect that I was trying to do, was I was going to make a movie called Clone Alone.
Oh, and
it was about a dude making clones because COVID, you couldn't be around people, right? So I was going to be around myself and talking with myself. Okay. And that was the whole idea, is I could still make stuff because we didn't know at the time how long that was going to last for.
The rest of our lives. Spanish flu is still around.
Yeah, I know. It's still around for me because I have a problem that will lead to problems.
You have immunodeficiency. So it's not,
I do, in my lungs.
Not a massively...
He knows I normally wear a mask.
Yeah, he's not wearing a mask because he somehow trusts me, and
which is a bad idea because he's, but it's all good.
Yeah, because I get around all sorts of people.
Well, he didn't tell me he was at a movie theater the night before, but it's okay. He's actually usually around this time he has con crud, so
Yeah, I try not to have con crud anymore.
I know you've been doing good on that. Shop Gremlin says we need to find a new time to host Among Us. Yes,
we do.
I think a lot of people would like that. And now that you've mentioned it, just keep mentioning it. It'll be all good. But not in the chats today. We heard your complaints, and we are processing it at this moment.
I don't think Shock Gremlin was exactly complaining.
Oh, no, I know Shock Gremlin's not complaining. I was talking about other people when I said,
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want a bunch of people saying, yeah, you should, even though they'd probably be just telling you, yeah, you should, not meaning it bad and negative, because your guys aren't negative. So I would...
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Appreciated.
Where sadly, I sometimes think they're, people are going to be negative or something on something.
That'll work fine. Okay.
Ben says, Lynch says, yes, and I need to take some time off to attend Among Us.
Nice.
Smiling face with the sweaty thing? What is that one where you just have the drip on the side? Is that sweat?
It's on the sweater.
I'm sounding like a seriously old person by asking about an emoji, aren't I?
That's okay. Because guess what? I can't explain it either.
Yeah. Okay, good. We're not old.
Hell no, I'm old.
Okay. And then William says, I love Tim Curry on Legend and It, of course, the movie.
Yeah.
Which, Tim Curry is phenomenal in Legend. You won't know it's Tim Curry. It's the dude from Clue!
Yeah.
It's like, you need to watch, that should be a double feature. You watch Clue first, and then you watch Legend. And you get to see what a great actor this dude is.
And not only Clue, he's also the speech therapist for Sylvester Stallone and Oscar.
Yep.
And he is probably the best part of that movie.
And he's in the movie Avatar ripped off, Ferngully, as an animated voice, because he's the voice in a lot of movies. All right. So, we have some more... stuff. I'm going to jump down to Norma Morgan. I have the 30th anniversary too. I remember the first time going, red lipstick!
Oh, right. Red lipstick. First time going. Yeah, there's so Rocky Horror is nothing but adolescent sexual humor. That's the whole shtick for the whole thing. So the first time you go, oftentimes you'll get pointed out as being a virgin because you are already a virgin for seeing Rocky Horror, and you'll, depending on what theater you go to. Last night they did this. They will take lipstick and put a V on you to signify that this is the first time you've seen Rocky Horror. It used to be the first time you've seen it ever. At this point, the idea is the first time you've seen it with a cast. So yeah, and there's a whole. Theaters will have their own little ceremony for the virgins, and this one was kind of a Pledge of Allegiance type of a thing.
Oh, got it.
Because there were too many people. But I've been part of casts where there's like one or two, and they actually do something on stage. And actually, they did that last night, too. There was something on stage.
So I just realized it's a lot later than I thought.
Okay, are you going to run out of time? Do you?
I have all the time in the world.
Okay. Oh, no, we're talking away.
No.
And I tried to say...
just some people had asked what time I was, launching the Kickstarter, not that they'll necessarily... And I was
that's what you're talking about. Okay,
and I was important. I guess I should eventually launch it, because right now it's not launched. And if you're just joining in, the Kickstarters for this beautiful puppy, not this particular one. This will be a prototype. Whatever's done... Well, I nearly guarantee not be exactly the same. It'll be maybe similar. Odin's sort of figuring out things right now, and then we'll figure out what the final one is, but it's going to be similar. It's going to be a VHS Light for my book series, Post-Apocalyptic Joe in a Cinematic Wasteland.
This is why he's here dressed up.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here dressed up. And for the books, there's a couple of books involved that look like VHS cassettes, the old school Clam Shells. So you're going to get spray painted edges. If you open it up, it actually looks like a VHS is inside on the end papers. And if you flip it to the backside of the VHS, you're going to see the backside of a VHS, because that's what you would see. In the end, the actual image will be whatever Odin ends up building, more so than what I have in these books that I'm showing you right now. But I have two different books that are up for grabs in the Kickstarter. One is Blockbuster. So this is also in a clam shell, so it's also going to have the black sprayed edges. Difference is you open it up, you still get a VHS, but this time it has the Blockbuster sticker on it.
Yeah.
But it's Bookbuster, not Blockbuster. Wouldn't want to violate the trademark. That will no longer be a viable trademark in any way, shape, or form, since there is no
No
more stores after the end of this month. But really, it's a parody of the Blockbuster old VHS cassettes that I called Bookbuster.
Yep, and all of your book writing friends think it's a great idea.
So, I guess I just launched this thing. So basically,
just
I'm just gonna hit the button. So today, what I got is I'm gonna go in a whole little bit on these puppies. So we got 10. If the first 10 people that support the tier with the VHS Light, which is the most second most priciest tier, they're gonna get it at basically a loss leader for me, but don't worry about me. I think it's great. I actually want to do it as a thank you guys for sitting through and putting up with us for so long and him building it on his thing. So I guess I'm ready to launch. I'm going to press this button. I've never launched. It says ready to launch.
You never launched a Kickstarter?
Are you sure? I've never launched a Kickstarter.
This is as close as I've ever come to launching one.
If I don't meet my goal, it doesn't fund and you won't get your lights. It's the smallest goal ever because, quite frankly, I've been so busy. I've been doing a poor job actually promoting the Kickstarter. But let's go ahead and it's all or nothing. And I already know all about this stuff. So it says basically it will kill me if I do not fulfill these. Done.
Right. So all or nothing, for those of you who aren't aware what the Kickstarter means, either he gets completely funded and then he's got money, or if it isn't funded, all of you get a refund.
They don't get charged till it actually
funds. They'll get charged till it actually funds.
Hey!
But none of you, if any of you support, would get charged if he doesn't get his full funding.
And by the way, it is officially live. It says, congratulations, your project is live!
Oh, nice!
Not Memorex.
Not Memorex. No, it's live.
It's live. So, some cool things I got going on here, because you're not really a Kickstarter.
Hey, where do they find the link?
Oh, where do you find the link? In the YouTube description,
In the description of this live stream, I posted the link, so it should be right there.
What a good guy.
And if you want, just go to Kickstarter.com and probably search for Apocalyptic Joe, because Joe likes to use words that are easy to spell, and you'll more likely find it.
Let me...
Do you have a shortened URL?
I do. Let me find it. You keep talking.
I'm still talking. Anyway, I know Joe's been working on this project.
Here we are.
You
can type in kickstartmybooks.com and it will take you there.
Oh, really? Is that all it is?
Kickstartmybooks.com. Yes, that's mine.
Nice. Kickstart my books. Okay.
It's a plural on the books.
Yeah.
Someone else had book. Kickstart my book.
Sure.
But luckily I had two, so it's plural. There are two books.
There are two.
But it's only one version of the same story.
And it's a collection of 6.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah, it is 6 books. So, it is officially live. And one of the cool things that you didn't know, because you're not really on Kickstarter.
Nope.
But I am. Yep. Is, one of the things we got are backer perks. And so, cool.
Was that intentional?
No, but it sort of looks cool.
How radioactive a tape do you want, Joe?
Radioactive enough. Well, once you put the thing on it, we can also change up whatever we need to do.
So here in life, I've got because I know it's totally blown out on screen. If you look at what they see.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this
is a little blown out. It doesn't look blown out to us.
No, it's great. This is awesome. It looks like Homer Simpson's, LED rod. This dark thing here, I might need to remove. This is actually I may not. I might need it. This is a metal spring that holds the reels of the tape in place.
Yeah.
So it's a little metal spring that holds those down. So when you load it, this has got a little bit of push, right? That's what that line is. Otherwise. Yeah, this is, I hadn't considered this, that the yellow tape was going to be translucent, and the whole thing just closed. The thought was just going to go out the windows, but...
well, that's not necessarily bad, depending on what happens. And he's also going to, the other thing he's not talking about, he's going to make it look post-apocalyptic.
Well, there's that. I got to do
that
too,
so once you have that on, you'll have a sticker on the front like this.
Right.
Type of a thing. That will help dim it some and everything else.
But still, it's like...
That's pretty cool.
Do you need us to spray paint the inside of the tapes so the shell doesn't glow? Or do you want to let the whole...
I'm going to... This is an Odin... This is where Odin's going to decide.
That sounds like work. No, okay.
Okay,
it all depends on...
It probably depends on how you feel like it is at the end.
Sure.
You know?
Because it's not going to be too hard to do.
Holy cow.
What happened?
Adam has pledged a lot on this Kickstarter campaign.
Adam? Which Adam?
I don't know. Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
ATOM or ADOM?
I'm trying to get back into my activity here.
Amusingly, Joe and I have both also worked at PBS, so we're totally used to doing the pledge break thing.
Yeah,
we worked at the same station, but not at the same time as one.
Yes,
yet another one of those jobs where we just missed each other.
Yes. Oh, it opened up. That's why I'm a little lost. I'm like in one area, not the other.
But no, that works really well, and that would, if it was dark, which I think would probably be a good plan. It would glow a lot more like how this guy glows. I can only power one or the other because I've only got one USB power bank here right now. Although I could put AAA's in this, but I don't want to bother. Okay.
Isn't it sad that I don't know where to find that stuff yet? This is my first one, Adam, but I want to say thank you.
Adam, thank you very much for being one of the first major backers.
However you spell Adam.
Yeah.
You know?
Adam.
You rock.
Yeah.
And roll. All night long.
Because it's highly likely
Yeah,
they're watching the live stream, because I don't see how that would have happened that quickly.
Yeah, considering how poorly I've done it, like advertising this thing, I'd say that would be a correct statement.
Let me look on my busted phone and see if I can't see anything.
Okay, so one of the cool things that I was going to talk about was the backer perks, dude.
Oh yeah, talk about backer perks.
So the reason I wanted to talk about it is one of the cool things with backer perks is if you back a project.
Nice.
Yes, there's
one backer.
Yeah,
wow.
and they covered nearly the whole thing, just making it happen. We need one more, and we're golden. Okay, so one of the things with backer perks is you get just extra stuff for joining on, right?
Yeah.
And signing up. So what I have is backer perks so far. I'm still trying to line these up because, like I said, I'm doing a horrible job, like Kickstartering. Yeah. So the first week, if you basically back the project before the first week, you'll get everything involved. But the first week's ones are Beyond Geek Season 1 digital download.
I see that.
Tangled Web, which is a book. You're not going to get the printed book. You're going to get an e-book. And The Moans, Danny, this is Danny's band. You remember shooting The Moans on Beyond Geek? But what's really cool is you're going to get MP3s of this. It's awesome because they're horror movie inspired songs.
Oh, okay.
So it's freaking like perfect for this, right? And for week 2, if you back before the end of the week 2, you get Beyond Geek Season 2.
Okay.
Something I could give away. Digital download. What's really cool is, I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Mark Leslie, but he wrote Canadian Werewolf in New York. Every backer will get that ebook.
Oh, nice.
And it's a werewolf story, obviously.
Okay.
He's also cool because...
You say every backers, even the dollar backers?
Well, no. You're right. Right now I have it anyone over the $40.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's basically buying a book or more. What's cool with him is he also does movie trivia books. He has one for planes, trains, and automobiles.
Okay.
And for frickin' Die Hard.
Oh, nice.
Which I mentioned in the book. So I both movies are great, but Die Hard's Die Hard, dude.
Yeah, both movies are great, but Die Hard is way more. My movie. Yeah.
Okay, so Ian, I don't think I've ever said this word out loud, but I want to thank you. So week 3, Ian, who we both know, Ian Walker.
Okay. Yeah.
Pantheon. And hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. His comic book,
Pantheon?
you're going to get issue 1, digital, which is a freaking great comic book series.
Cool.
In week 4, I got a buddy who's going to have a TBD on the book coming, and we'll get back to you. You just stay up to that, and you'll figure it out. But some free extra junk. Right now, it's like $60 extra worth of stuff.
Right now, like...
Not
you
junk,
have a buddy doing something. It's like
something
I'm supposed to be doing?
No, it's not you. To be determined book.
Okay.
Paul is nice enough to hook me up.
So it's not 24/7 Demon Mark.
No, but who knows?
One of Joe's friends whose books I really enjoy. I enjoy Joe's books too, but
yeah. No, Denise is I'll see her in a couple weeks.
Cool.
I'll beg her. But I'm not sure because she has certain restrictions because of how she's on for Amazon. So she might be willing to support, but not necessarily willing. But some of her shorter books for 24/7 might be cool to do. And if, Denise, you watch this, that would be awesome. She's not watching this, by the way. Because I send her a link and said, hey, I beg. I'll just cut out the section and send the, please. No, I'll just talk to her. She's awesome. But it's a great book series if you want a great book to read. Well, multiple books to read. A lot of books to read. Or listen to. They're great audio.
That's all I've done is listen to the audiobooks.
Yeah. So, absolutely love her books.
Yeah.
All right. So, he's going for the gels, huh?
Going for the gels. Well, I got to move on to the next part.
Yeah.
And for now, the whole shell's just going to glow in a way. I think it's cool, but I know that wasn't the plan.
It's not necessarily not the plan. I mean, it's radioactive, right?
Right.
So
it is a radioactive tape.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, you're watching now. Here's a chance for you to sound off. Do you like the idea of the entire cassette just glowing like it is? Because this is the LED strip I'm going to be using. We'll just order more if I need to get more. But
you probably will.
I probably will.
None.
Yeah, and it's okay. The center isn't going to glow because there's going to be a sticker over it, and that's where the battery's going to go because that's 100% where I'm planning on putting the batteries right in the middle. So if the entire tape glows, which is absolutely a Simpsons-style apocalyptic nuclear glow, that's okay to me, and it's also I don't have to paint it. But what do you guys think? Do you think it'd be cooler if it was more like Stranger Things, where it's subtle and just in the windows and just in the spools, or the whole dang tape glows green?
And mind you, it doesn't blow out like what you guys are saying. It's got a cool glow to it. You can see through it, definitely, but it's not as blowing out as you look. So it's radioactive feeling, but not like where you feel like your tape is actually giving you radioactive
problems. Yeah.
Problems. All right, so I've fallen behind on some words.
That's okay. That's what happens all the time. I don't believe anyone expects you to keep up with all of it.
I know. They're all awesome. I will start with Daniel Knight, who says, greetings!
Hello, Daniel Knight.
And then says, I was working on that Cyborg / Tanjiro /
Daniel Knight does a lot of...
he's... My kids are going to be mad. I'm mispronouncing all these things. Mashup earlier.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. And then says Happy Halloween, of course.
Of course, awesome. Thank you. Happy Halloween.
You know, and said your...
I'm dressed...
No. They said your costume was awesome. They didn't really say that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying.
I was just going to joke about how you like to dress up in things that you're not usually, right? Like, I enjoy dressing up as a villain. I don't think of myself as a villain. So this time, to dress up as something I'm not normally, I'm going to dress up like a Joe Gillis fan.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully you're not like a Misery type of a situation. I'm going to have my ankles broken, be in bed here, you know. Good times. Just, if it's the book version, there'll be a lot more involved with running over people versus...
There's a lot more... The book version, she's far worse than she is in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And she's bad in the movie.
Yeah. It was funny because one of the things I put up on Facebook recently, like, which one is better, Misery the book or Misery the movie? And they're like, are you kidding me?
The book.
Hey, everybody knows Stephen King's are all better in the book. And I go, yeah, I actually agree with you. But, see, coming from, like, the theater... You would talk to people about these things, and I was, that was what I was doing around that time, and I actually agree with you 100% because I was telling people how much it sucked for me going to the movie because I didn't enjoy the movie as much because of the book, and so it was funny because they're like, really? They're like, nobody likes the movie more than the book. Sadly, I have talked to people that feel differently. Luckily, I guess none of them are following me. Now, it's cool if you're following me and you don't like that too. And then William Wells says, Joe, I can see you do a fan film called Full Throttle. Heck yeah. And then, and sadly, I can't do Star Trek fan films, which I really wanted to be able to do. And I did an episode about that on Beyond Geek. And I can't do them because of the new guidelines they have in place for that. And then Odin is, I don't know where he's at. Oh, he's looking for tape.
Well, I've got gaff tape. I've got all sorts of tapes here. I don't have clear tape because if this thing's going to glow, it's got to glow. If I put down tape, that section's not going to glow.
That's true. That's true.
Sorry, I didn't communicate to you. You were talking.
He's totally going to figure out whatever too.
Oh, hey, and these aren't symmetrical. That's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you cut it and it just
I cut it to make
fit.
it symmetrical, but it's not symmetrical.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Learning.
Yeah, you know, they're like,
and knowing is half the battle.
Yeah. We don't need these symmetrical.
Robert symmetrical.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Ed Vixen says, thanks to viewers like holy moly, that's a lot of money. Agreed.
Yeah,
thank you, guys. That's awesome.
This is your Kickstarter, I assume.
Oh no. Well, maybe.
I assume because that is a lot of money. One person.
Well, I was also thinking your stuff, but yes, both of them. It is.
Yeah, thank you both.
Both.
Thank you for me. Yes, I seriously appreciate it. That is $30 is a huge chunk of what I was like looking at being able to spend next week. It's like that's actually a lot. Thank you.
The good thing is I heard wood came down in price.
Oh, is it?
Well, that's the rumor. I don't know if that's true. Last time I went to purchase wood, it was. Oh my god.
Yeah, when you built your sound booth?
Yeah.
Yes,
it is the William Wells.
Oh, finally!
Yes,
it only took 2 hours!
No, William didn't answer it just straightforwardly, which is cool, William, because you're awesome. I got lucky. I appeared in 6 Star Trek fan films. It's gotta be the same William. We love you, William. Thank you.
Yep.
William was one of the many people we got to meet on the road filming Beyond Geek.
Yep.
William was really cool.
Yes.
It was one of those things. It was funny because Odin, that was a big deal to him. He's like,
I get to do Star Trek stuff?
I want to go to that no matter what. You're making me go to that one. That one for sure.
So these guys in Oklahoma built a authentic replica of the original series Star Trek bridge. They built the sick bay. They built the transporter room. They're the only ones to do that. And I think, maybe the other way. Maybe the only ones that did the sick bay. And they were working on a conference room in a hallway while we were there. And they were awesome people. It was an awesome facility they had set up, and it was a fantastic experience. So thank you, William, and thank you for taking me out there.
Oh yeah, and then we gotta go and hang out with Randy at his freaking awesome place too.
And Randy was also cool, but totally different route. Randy, instead of trying to be a Constitution class ship, Randy was movie era, I think, or next gen era. And made up his own ship. And it was totally budget friendly. Randy was doing it to do it in a little spare boathouse he had on his property. So basically a separate garage. And everything fit in that one little facility, and it was all done super on the cheap, but very creative and enjoyable stories.
Yeah, and that
2 very different takes on doing Star Trek fan films. It's cool.
No, exactly, and that's why I filmed him. Yeah, it was funny because Ivan had connections to hook me up with a bigger one. Yeah, and he was like, "Dude, why are you going with this?" And I go, "Because this is the guy who I look at and I go, I can do this," you know. Yeah. Whereas those guys did a phenomenal job. I don't think any of us will say different on that.
No.
But it also felt like a little bit more outside of the realm of most of us being able to do. And me being a fan of not just low budget things, but just a fan of like people being able to make stuff and want to do things. I really wanted to focus in on the ability to do it and have it feel like you could go make a Star Trek fan film because anyone can. And I was like, this would be cool to see more of them. And by filming Randy, even though his sets were really cool too, but they were very much affordable and doable. And even his costumes were that way. And I loved his explanation for it because it's so true. Star Trek would just change. They change their uniforms more often than not.
Anybody else,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Constantly, even within the show.
Every season, every series had a costume change during it. You know, so it doesn't matter that Randy's was a little bit different.
No. Do you need an extra hand holding?
I might. The problem I'm having is the light pops into where the screw post goes.
Got it.
And it makes it a little bit hard to put together. So it's one of those little challenges that I need to solve in order to do a few more of these. Yeah, don't break this one, Odin.
It's like puzzles for Odin.
Love those, by the way.
That should be like
in the right spot.
There we go. Whole nother channel. Puzzles for Odin, which is pretty much Odin Makes anyways.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm not that good at puzzles.
All right. Did I pull out? There we go.
Nope, that's fine. I'm not going to bother to put the screws in, see if that does anything for light diffusion.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it did. Actually, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And...
Still looks mighty bright. Here, let's go to...
Cut, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Still looks mighty bright. This is still this line here. It looks like text on screen. This is just that metal spring. So I put diffusion in, and you can see more green on the sides because it's diffusing the light. So it is greener here. But, yeah. Okay. I'm liking the whole take glows. It's ridiculous. But it does make you different from Stranger Things. All right. Mm-hmm. I think I should go ahead and put the screws in, and we can start putting stickers on it, and I'll just break out the paints and start making it dirty.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right, so we got some more people. Oh, yeah. William Wills asked if we've heard of Vance Majors. Yeah, Vance is awesome. He's in the episode, actually. He has helped with a ton of Star Trek fan films. Great guy to deal with. And then Austin Lips asks, "Hey, Odin and Joe, what should I do? I went to Kickstarter to go back this project, and it said, just wondering." Maybe this was before I hit go? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Also, there's the issue of in the internet world, in the how the internet works. Mm-hmm. There's going to be multiple servers that something has to go through. This is especially true for YouTube, and so it may be we hit go, but it hasn't quite gotten to you yet, which is a really weird way to put it. Mm-hmm. But it anyway.
No,
do you have it region locked? It isn't just the U.S.
No, it should be everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can support it from anywhere. There's just shipping becomes a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Because I included shipping in the U.S. because I can do media mail on stuff, right?
Right.
For like the books, not for the tape, but for the books.
Yeah.
But it's like way cheaper for us to ship within the States. But nowadays, when we ship overseas, it's freaking a fortune, man. It's like you got to take out a second loan.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Is your book PG-13?
I consider it PG-13, and here's why. Not because of language or anything else like that. But because... Actually, let me give you a different one. Before you go down. Here? Oh, no, that's the same. Never mind. Excuse me. Go.
They all seem like they had the same...
No, they are off a little bit.
Joe had these printed at a place that does laser printing, right, where you can walk in and get it done in a jiffy. And it happened to work out that the registration is off. So the print...
yeah, they're all the same. You're 100% correct.
So the print, not a big deal, but if you look at it, on this side, there's a lot of open space between the PG-13 MPAA rating sticker, and then on this side, the VHS is just a millimeter off the edge of the sticker.
Yeah.
It's all there, but it is right up against the end of it. And this is actually a standard printing thing, and why you want to have negative space around your stuff, because it's going to float. But honestly, I agree that this one floated too much.
Yeah, but he also said this is sort of similar to what you would see normally.
Yeah, go ahead and leave it there for a minute.
Oh, okay, I'll leave it here.
Let's blow this camera out.
All right.
And
drum roll.
Okay, yeah. So you can still kind of see the strip. Not a big deal.
If anywhere where we're going to black out to me,
it'd be behind the label.
It'd be just behind the label itself.
Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that right now. And that could be just as easy as another black sticker on the inside or a double sticker. But anyway.
100% today, it could be as easy as another sticker behind it.
Hey, just put another sticker over right now.
Yeah, we could just do that too. Just keep layering them on until it gets to where you want it to be.
Delightful close-up of Odin applying a sticker. Now, what's fun is if I get these to line up, the Post-Apocalyptic Joe may still glow slightly on camera.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now that makes a huge difference in life.
Yeah.
Having a double sticker.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's totally cool.
That's what's going to happen. Something to that effect. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if we just get, can we just get black stickers? Mm-hmm. Or it may not have to be a black sticker. Nah, it probably has to be a black sticker. It has to be a light blocking sticker. Mm-hmm. But yeah. Anyway, still, this doesn't glow as well in life. It blows out on the camera. It's always been I've always appreciated how much LEDs blow out on a camera because it just makes it look so much cooler. But it does glow. We can see it all.
Yes.
So. Okay.
All right.
You had these stickers.
Dan posted the link again. Thank you, Dan. Dan does junk. Daniel Knight. I would love to do a post-apocalyptic anime mashup sometime in the future. Post-apocalyptic is always fun to do.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic is fun. Fallout 4, Mad Max, all those things. They're yeah. These are stickers, right?
Yep.
Is these for this, or do you want me to use?
No. They're too small for the books. They're for and I have even other different ones if you wanted to. I brought a bunch of different options.
All right. Yeah.
Whatever Odin wants. I think it would be really cool with this to have them be different depending on.
Okay. Yeah. So I need to actually mentally think about. Just because I put this sticker here on this one, I don't put that one on every one of them.
You can if you want to. No, you can totally have it be all the same. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with either.
Okay.
You know? However it ends up. Because they're handmade. So, you know, even if you put it in the same spot, it's going to be slightly off.
Yeah.
Unless you're pulling out a measurement tool and printing it and doing everything correctly.
You were talking about post-apocalyptic stuff.
Oh, yeah. Love post-apocalyptic stuff.
Well, no, we were talking about Fallout, we were talking about Mad Max, and you started bringing something up.
I totally forgot.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, what are they saying in the comments?
Are you going to do some giveaways? William Wells is asking. Who are you talking to? Me or Odin?
Well, you're the one with the Kickstarter.
I guess me, probably.
Yeah, are you going to do a giveaway?
Well, a giveaway of the items, I have to look into the rules. I'll be honest with you, because I can't violate like terms of services on stuff, so I have to figure out what's going on with that. That is something else we'll have to think about too, right?
Does that matter?
No, it's fine with me if it's like that because you're gonna not have it on all the time.
Right. So it's glowing through the sticker.
Yeah, it's glowing through the sticker. So I don't know what I'm gonna do on that aspect, but you can follow along the project. Or basically just follow me on one of my things. It's like that Joe Gillis, at that Joe Gillis on most everything, and then I'm pretty positive I'll mention if there is a giveaway.
So why is it at that Joe Gillis? Because I know it happens to be that your name is a character from a famous movie.
That is the other Joe Gillis has got it.
Okay.
But you know what? I got joegillis.com, so I can't really complain. Which you can go to joegillis.com. Yeah, I got like the hardest thing to get. So.
Enjoying the sticker.
Yeah, I couldn't get Joe Gillis on anything really. Someone else chose it. Now it could have been because of Sunset Boulevard, but it most likely was some other guy named Joe Gillis took the name and before I did. They probably will wait to see if my joegillis.com will ever expire. Like, never going to, buddy.
Never going to. Done that.
No. That one would be so hard to get again.
Long time ago, working with Warp 11, and I remember waiting because somebody else had the website. They weren't doing anything with it. They were just sitting on it. Warp 11 is a Star Trek band here in Sacramento. They just had their final tour concert this past spring, but I was helping set up their website with a lot of guidance from Joe, and helping to champion and be their cheerleader group for you guys need to keep going with this. Don't just call it quits. This is cool. And for the longest time, we only ever had Warp 11's all spelled out.com because that was available. Warp 11 was not available, and I noticed the date for when it was going to expire, and I sniped it. I sat there and waited and came up, it's available! Because there wasn't an active website to go along with it. Somebody just had it and they were sitting on it.
They better still have it, or I'm gonna get mad at Carl. No, they still has it.
They still have it. They let the Warp 11 spelled out die, which I totally agree with. I get. Yeah, I agree with that one in a big way.
Which, by the way, Carl Miller has a Kickstarter for his D&D book. He's been playing. It's his campaign. He's been playing forever.
Yeah,
and he's been talking about this for a really long time, and he kicked out a book, which is awesome, and it's doing extremely well, which is great. So glad for him and everybody else involved with that.
I won't stick on too many stickers, but
it's like a couple stickers.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
All right.
Which one are we going to? 2?
Yeah, it's already on preview.
Oh, okay. So I just have to get cut. Got it. Perfect.
And I will put the stickers back in their bag. There's a few of them here. Then I just need to break out some Plat-FX paints and tear up a piece of foam and start making it dirty.
Do you want to do that while I gradually put stickers away?
Is there anything new happening in the comments? Now, normally at this point in time, we would be done to the live stream. It was just Felicia and I. But knowing that this was something special I was doing with Joe, it is effectively our Halloween stream. Just going to keep going with it until this particular project is done. And I'm not surprised it's running a little long because we didn't start immediately either.
So Advixen says, Joe, sign one, then put a sticker as the Willy Wonka VHS tape. That's a good idea.
That's a great idea, yeah.
I like it. And then Daniel Knight says, too bright. It actually isn't as bright as it looks on screen. It's still bright. But it's not. Bright. It's not even remotely.
No, it's not
as
even
blown out
as blown as it is here.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to? With the way the LED strip works, every couple of inches is a circuit, and I cut it so it's got 3 sections in there, which also means the battery's going to last a lot longer. I can cut it down to 2. That'll effectively cut a third of the light out.
I don't know if you want to cut out more light than that. I mean, on camera it looks.
On camera it looks. Yeah.
But in person, no, I wouldn't.
Okay, good.
I mean, I didn't plan. I joke about this being a reading light. It's not going to be a reading light. I didn't plan for that.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't go less than that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. So
that's where it pretty much needs to be.
And then William Wells is asking, do I have an Xbox One? Asking me specifically.
Asking you specifically.
You know, I should, but I don't.
you the video game guy.
I believe my kids have Xbox Ones. Right. I just don't.
Okay.
You know.
Joe does have some retro video game systems.
I do. If you want to talk about an NES, an Atari 2600, Apple II. I do have the original Xbox still. And I have Nintendo Wii. Okay. Trying to think of what else I have. Wii was always fun. It still is fun, you know, to do some of those games.
I don't have to use Plat. I can just use these.
Oh, and I have the Game Boy stuff.
I want to do this. I'm just going to sponge paint it because that's just the...
He's going to sponge paint it, people.
Well, it just needs
to be
about dirty,
to get
right?
going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't want to sponge. I want to paint on this, so now I need to get a drop cloth. Sorry.
Okay. No. I'll entertain them. No. So in the end, this, well, I guess we're on the program now. This will look more like that, depending on what he does to the outside, because he's going to dirty it up some. The whole point of the book is to have it match the VHS cassette that Odin's making, and just, you know, tie it all together. So these are only going to be available through the Kickstarter. Actually, all this stuff is. The cool thing is, if you didn't catch it earlier, Odin is actually going to make every single one of them by hand. So they're handcrafted, each and every one of these things.
Yep.
So he's doing it the old school way, just good old fashioned way.
Yep.
You know?
One at a time. Sit out here and listen to an audiobook. Or I might even listen to Post-Apocalyptic Joe.
Yeah.
And just
Go at it.
Try and go at it with these things. I walked off. The one thing I didn't get that I should have got was a paper plate.
I do like the diffusion that has happened.
The diffusion helped, yeah.
Because otherwise you have inside what you can see like this. And, when I see people make their own VHS lights, they a lot of times leave them like this. Which, it's cool, but I actually like the diffuse light more. And the diffusion, what it brings to it. It looks also cooler when it's off to me. Because you would still see like the light parts and everything else like that in there, so it makes it a little cleaner to me. Not that I have OCD, if you ever saw my house, but the OCD in me does love this one. I admitted my house is dirty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you're admitting? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't been here long enough to make my house dirty. Give me a minute.
Yeah. So, one of the thoughts was, Odin likes to, he doesn't like clean stuff, which is one of the things I like too. It looks cool by dirtying it up.
The post-apocalyptic look.
It definitely is post-apocalyptic look. Like even when I do the books, if you could see it a little bit better, there's like scratches on the plastic. There's even a tear on the back on this. And so both VHS cassette book covers, they have that aged look to them, which is very post-apocalyptic too. But it's also a look I like. So even with the covers I did for the 6 books that are in here, they were all like VHSs and they had worn out edges around it. I actually scanned in a real VHS and that I found that I liked. It's actually the worst Night of the Living Dead cover ever. Yes. Sort of spoilers.
Yes.
But I used that to work off of the edges off that, which is I really like the worn down look of it. So I purchased the VHS just to get that to be able to scan in and work off of the other books when I was building those.
So one of the fun things I'm personally running into right now, trying to think about what paints I want to put on this. Most of the time when I want to weather something, the first thing you do is paint chips, right? You want to put in silvers that are coming through the paint. It's a tape. It's not going to have paint chips. It's just going to be dirty.
Yeah, there probably wouldn't be silver coming
No,
off
probably
of that.
not. No.
It would look cool with silver, though. But no. But I see, the cool thing with the stickers, they're automatically going to get a little aged when you put them on. Because the stickers with the VHS stickers that the stores would use weren't really like nice stickers. They were printed to where basically you're going to have the worn off edges and stuff like that.
They were just round paper stickers that came like on a roll. It was super cheap because, these were independently owned stores. It had to be an affordable product or they weren't going to buy it. This is a brand new one. I don't want to use that one if I can avoid it.
Except for they bought $100 movies.
Yeah, but that was their...
That's the way they were making money.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, other small trivia if you guys aren't aware. Back in the very beginning of VHS days, movies cost $90 to buy on tape because the studios were charging for conceivable royalties from viewing the tapes up front. And the affordability factor of putting out a tape that people could afford, a movie that people could afford to purchase at a lower point, didn't come along, I think, until E.T. I think was one of the first ones.
You had to have a big enough movie to where they could sell enough copies to make it worthwhile for them to do that.
And I think, feel free to fact check me on this, that E.T. was one of the first ones that came out at $20, and which even at the time was a lot of money because it's not like $20 today. Minimum wage was $2.50 an hour, right? So it's still money, but yeah, if I'm remembering right, that was the way that went.
I don't remember, but I'm going to let someone else decide on that one. But yeah, you would have the $100 tapes. But if you think about it, it was it's sort of a weird good system because these video stores were making money off of their movies.
Yeah.
So So in a way, it shouldn't even be legal to do what they're doing. In fact, if you try to do that as a streaming service, they'll shut you down, sue you, and lock you up type thing. Try to. But it is also funny because that's actually how film started. When they started back in the silent era, you would have bought a print and then you could make as much money as you wanted off of it, and then you could go sell it and stuff like that. And you were buying the print initially versus giving a percentage is what came later. Yeah. You know, like the theaters, if you go now, the vast majority of the reason like popcorn's so expensive and all that stuff, that is actually what pays for the theater to stay afloat mostly, because they're giving a good chunk of their profits right out of the gate to the studio, not for them to have. So
that's way too much red. That red just took right over.
So now he's just testing out some colors to try to figure out what he wants here.
Well, I've got I've just squirted out.
Yeah. Nice.
I've got some black acrylic paint. I've got some red oxide acrylic paint. I've got some Plat FX. What is this? Grounded. Great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dirt. And then some yellow oxide acrylic paint. And that was just throwing some of the oxides together to try and get a dirt color. And not quite as dark as I want, but I know that I can't really black it up because that'll just make it ruined. But all I want to do is, and it's fine that the colors are never going to be consistent, I'm going to mix up a little bit of a color, and I'm going to take some foam that I've got left over, some packing foam, and I'm just going to sponge paint it because...
Oh, okay.
Why not? Yeah, basically. I can do it with a brush, but I just need to kind of... One of the things I got to be careful of is I don't put the corners on it. You know, something like that. Just kind of... So I'll just work on that for a minute.
Excellent. I'll see if I have any more comments.
Okay. More comments.
Quiz for you guys. What was the first movie to appear on VHS? You know what?
Oh, wow. That's
William
a great
Wells
quiz.
Is asking that, and you know, I feel like I actually should know that.
You know, I don't. I don't think I've ever known that.
I don't know what it is, so you're going to have to put it in the chat here, unless you're just asking us,
watch it be porn.
Us to know.
But no, I don't. No, I really don't know. I don't know what the first VHS tape was. I talked about U-matic earlier. I believe the U-matic system is basically what VHS is based off of. I think.
Maybe.
I think that's kind of how that worked. But
yeah.
That I don't quite remember. This is a great trivia question, though, and I do not know.
You're stumping us, which is great. Stump the geek.
Yeah.
You're doing it. I feel like I should know this one, and I probably did at some point in my life. Waiting for someone to kick it in the chat. But otherwise, I'll have to Google it and hope that Google tells
I
me
wouldn't
the
Google
truth.
it. Just admit you don't know and let William tell us.
Oh, no, I am.
And the best part is if we do that and William's wrong, the rest of the chat let us
they'll
know.
be making fun of
William.
William's
But William's probably right.
No, I'm just kidding. No pressure, William. Is William Googling it right now? And you know,
he might, but you know that's one of those things that you know a lot of us just know.
I know what the last Nintendo game was.
You know what the last one was?
Well, it's Wario. So.
Oh, okay. Now this is which system?
The NES. Sorry. I guess I should actually say what system.
And then another question I would have is, I know there is a peripheral coming out for the first time, a new peripheral for the NES. They're actually, third party is making a Bluetooth add-on that plugs into the expansion port at the bottom of your NES 001, so you can use Bluetooth controllers with your classic NES system that was released in 84. 86? When was that released? But so that's the first peripheral made in forever, and I think the first official or whatever, the first peripheral that utilizes the expansion port.
Well, William Wells gives me what's not the first movie, though. I can tell you this for a fact.
Okay.
But I don't think William's trying to say it like this. So it's The Last Starfighter was on VHS first time. Yeah, it came out on VHS.
Yeah, but that wasn't the first.
That's not the first movie, though. But great movie. One that, boy, all our movies sort of benefit from, for sure.
Yeah. No, Last Starfighter definitely has the first movie with major CGI effects work in it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it had models created, really, did it?
I'm trying to remember. I remember watching or listening to, I guess you could say, even though I was watching and listening to the director's commentary, and I remember him saying that what was really interesting is he said that they could actually do better computer animation at the time than what is in the movie. The problem is how long it took to render out. So
yes.
So if they would have had years extra to let it render out, the animation was actually better at the time, he says, than what we saw in the movie. Still, as far as I know today, I don't think they ever George Lucas that puppy.
No, I don't think so.
As far as I know.
And they may have had the same type of problem they had with Tron, where they started the movie under a certain system and in a certain way of doing it, but advancements happened while they're working with that system. So by the time the end of the movie happened, they could have done it so much faster.
Yeah.
But it still would have had to redo from start. They had to stick with what they started with because they were locked into that system.
And then of course, they had so much time to kick it out, and that was a whole nother problem back then. Still is today, I think.
Yeah.
Even though we've gotten tons better, the stuff's gotten better. Daniel Does Junk says, stream gets a bit choppy on our end. On my end, it's failed twice now, but I think it's on my end. That would be Google, I would say, I would presume. Hopefully.
It
could be coming out of here.
Letting us know. All right. Hey, has anyone else had dropout problems with our stream? This is good to know because I'm in a new building, new situation with a new type of hardware. So, and Dan specifically is one of the IT gurus that have come by to help me run cable just to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Oh. Rumor has it that it might be choppy on other ends.
Was that what the rumor was?
Maybe.
It was choppy as well. I couldn't tell if the cryptid was telling us.
Me too is what I think I heard. Okay, so I'm going to read some more here. We got other than weathering it. Oh well, I'll wait for that for Odin. Sorry. Let's see here. Okay, Steve D says the first VHS movie was a South Korean film called The Young Teacher. The Young Teacher was filmed in the 1970s and released in 1972. That wouldn't surprise me, considering where the tech all came from. And it was probably definitely a film that had been out for a bit when they dealt with it. So even though it wasn't a bit, I mean, the first VHS I had was the 70s. I had my dad owned. So
I didn't get VHS to the 80s. No, I wasn't planning on doing much more to this past putting some paint on it because it's a tape. I don't know what else to do to it. I mean, I could, put like a Band-Aid type thing on it, but I wasn't planning on that. I'm going to do more than one color, but I really wasn't planning. If this is the question I heard on the way out, which, by the way, it did crash. They had to restart the window.
Oh, it was a crash. Rumor has it.
Yeah. No, basically, this was kind of my entire plan was because it's a tape. It's just a dirty tape. I wasn't planning on Mad Maxing it and putting barbed wire on it and putting, copper, spikes and copper plates. It's a tape. It's just going to be a dirty tape.
Odin would have a problem with that.
Well, it wouldn't load in the machine for one.
Oh, yeah.
This one, this is your USB adapter for your VHS player. That's what this is. This is a very special unit that allows you to play your VLC media player through your video VCR. These are hard to get a hold
of. Jerry Can Cosplay says, I know, I'm late again.
But you made it, Jerry. That's awesome. Hello. Hey, guess what? Lynch is here, or at least was.
Yeah. I think what we'll end up doing is probably popping that out out the bottom in the long run or something, maybe. Like
what I'd rather do with this is make it self-contained.
Make it self-contained.
This is a prototype. What I want to do is what this tape is, where it has a USB connection that can charge an internal battery that's behind the label. So, and then you have your power button like this does. So it'll need a power button on the side, like, even if it's just it'll have to be an actual switch like this is. Because ultimately, like everything else I've built, it's just a flashlight. But no, there's no plan to have a cord. Yeah. This was just a cheat to get going for today.
Yeah, if anyone's joining in, basically, it was just trying to figure out what we're going to do. Part of Odin's process is doing. So
a big part of it is doing.
Yeah, so it was giving them a chance to jump in and do it, and then we'll figure out what parts the final thing's going to have. Because each one's handcrafted, they'll all be a little bit different. This is going to be the only one that's just like this. So they'll probably build one more to figure it all out, and it's all good. Dan Does Jump just gave us a $5 overtime bonus. Woo!
We got overtime bonus. We are running overtime, but that was, I tried to say that in like the only public thing that I did, that we could potentially run overtime.
Yep. That's all good.
It's a weird, dumb detail. Mm-hmm. Do we want to put a little strip of tape here, so if anybody else bothers to open it up, there's a strip of tape here.
Dude, even though the rest of it is genius in a way. I didn't even think about that. Well, technically, depending on which part of the tape you're at, it could be the clear.
It could be the clear, yeah.
Yeah, because
you want me to just leave the clear?
Well, that's what I was just saying. Is like, if you were at the beginning of it, you would have clear, and then you would see the part of the black, wouldn't you?
Well, you would see it in the windows too, which is not there. So
which is not there.
This is very easy to demystify in a hot hurry.
Oh, very, very, very much so. Don't stick it in a tape player either.
Yeah, but it'll fit.
Yeah. I like the idea of just even leaving in, since it's already there.
Just don't take those out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I did it for this one because I didn't know for sure. So I wanted it out of the way.
Idea.
But leaving it, I can leave the leader in for the others.
Will that cause any problems on anything? No, I don't think so, right?
No, I didn't know. So it was just like, well, let's get this out of the way and figure it out.
Either.
And it's like, oh, you know what? That's not going to cause any issues.
I hadn't even thought about it. So... Jerry King Cosplay says, that's why I'm late. Stupid clock change.
Right. It finally happened for them.
Oh, yeah, because it just hasn't happened for us. We're in California.
No, it's already happened, hasn't it?
No, next week.
Oh, is it next week?
Yeah, isn't it?
Oh,
I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I just woke up to when my phone told me to wake up. So,
right.
I
thought it happened earlier in the month.
No. Like, even though we here in California voted to get rid of it,
many times.
It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't died yet.
No, and I don't understand why it's still... I get why it was originally here, just not now.
Yeah.
All right. Dan Does Junk says, you can do longer streams since you don't have to drive home afterwards.
That's
you
right.
Are home!
I'm already home! Yes, it's great. I love the fact that I'm stream from home now. Sorry, Joe, it's a slightly longer drive for you, but...
Yeah, actually, I was closer to the studio,
but
it's all good. Not by much. Overall. Beautiful downtown Sacramento. You were close to that.
I was very close to beautiful downtown Sacramento.
Ad Vixen says, shh, at Dan, the gas is a write-off.
Yes, but so is the square footage.
That's true. This is your studio space.
Yes.
This is your official office. That plus your office.
Yep, plus the actual office. Yeah.
So we're here watching Odin make I guess I should maybe cut to like a different shot maybe.
Well, the thought was that I would lay it down and you could cut to it, but at this point I'm holding it up in my hand.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, so, I'll give a little bit of a
okay. Go ahead and go on 2, and
we're on 2 for a second to see sort of what he's doing, just for a second. Then you can go back to your hand if you want. So he's dirtying up the VHS cassette because
maybe too much, but
no, well we'll see. And like I said, anyone
it's going to be each one is going to be handcrafted, so they'll all be a little bit different.
Again, I'm happy to ask questions from the people viewing.
Yep.
Do you think I'm going too far? Do I think I have not gone far enough? Do we need to spray glue dirt on it?
I didn't even think about that aspect.
Yeah, it's a doable thing.
Yeah.
Just, a little spray of spray glue and get some dirt on it.
Dan Does Junk says, "That's looking great!"
Okay, good. Thank you, Dan.
I wonder if Dan Does Junk is like, I don't talk like that.
Well, he doesn't, but that's okay. This is Joe's interpretation.
My interpretation of how Dan wrote it.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't mind.
Okay, good.
I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Good.
Just remember to go to Dan's channel and subscribe.
Yes. Carla Wynn says, "Greetings to all from Mendoza, Argentina."
Oh, sweet. Hello.
Need that map.
Need that map. Need the map of where people are.
Cutting back to the other shot.
Coming back to the faces.
Yeah.
Beautiful
So
faces.
you can turn it however you want. Not worry about it so much.
I very quickly forget because I'm just doing and talking.
No, I'm loving it. And I'm going to end up making the image inside the book that's in the front, because this is, of course, the clamshell with the VHS as you open it up. I'm going to make that look
more like this.
More like that when it's the final one's done for what goes out to the world. Because, part of it's about it all being together. That one's going to be the only one that actually has a yellow VHS in it, too. Not sure if I'm ever going to release the Blockbuster again, but if I got to imagine I might put it on my site. It will never be in retailers. Either of these will never be in retailers. Right. But if I do, it will be won't be the yellow.
And that's not. That's more. I'm thinking the wrong thing. Sorry.
Then yes.
Yeah. It's more of an issue having to do with getting. You talked about a problem with Amazon earlier where you couldn't have stickers or letters. I'm confusing stories. It's lunchtime.
He's right. This particular book is not very doable in general. They don't like the barcodes. Don't like the barcode. Don't like the barcode. The barcode for a book's supposed to be down here. So, they won't print them at most of the printers. My printer's supposed to be doing it in beautiful England, and that's where these are coming from. Yeah, they're the ones who, when I get the final version, hopefully in the next week and a half, 2 weeks or so, it will look obviously more like this is actually. I think I did pretty good. Spray glued these puppies on.
No, they look great. Yeah,
made my version of it.
Yeah, so this is your prop book.
Yeah, this is my prop book. I wanted something to show because really, this is what becomes cool to me is like having it open up like a VHS. So I spray painted the edges. They'll actually spray paint it, so it's not going to be me spray painting the edges or anything else like that. And they'll definitely have this inside. The big difference is I didn't even put the extra page that's here. It's just an image from 2 images from the book. That you get on either end without anything else going along with it. I like the way this is coming out, man.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I actually am too. It'll take it a minute to dry, but
that's okay. We got a minute. We're not necessarily going to stay on long, no,
right,
the whole time, but
yeah, exactly.
Because watching paint dry is what we do best.
Hey, I've got a whole video on that's got 10,000 views.
That is so crazy. That was at the beginning of Odin doing his thing when he was doing DIY.
Do it yourself.
I know. DIY.
There it is.
Prop shop.
Yes.
I did stuff for DIY Network. You think it would be easier to spit out? But I remember that was the bane of the existence of shooting those things would be how long is it going to take? Oh, that's a good idea. Put some Odin fingerprints on that. Did you guys just see that? I like the idea of that being on every single one of these things. Is somewhere Odin is. So if you commit a crime, leave this behind.
Thanks, Joe.
I didn't give you ideas. All right, so we've had some more. Actually, it's funny you're doing this because guess what? William Wells says he says need a handprint. Odin didn't even see that before that was done. You guys are in sync.
I was thinking about it, so.
And then Jerry Can Cosplay says, I say more is better. Use dirt.
Use dirt. All right.
That might end up
I have
way.
airport dirt still, so let's get
sweet.
some airport dirt on this thing.
Nice,
chunky, full of petroleum products.
And then Austin Ellipsis says, is that the same table your dad made, Odin, in your house? This is.
Wow, good memory, Austin. Yes, it is.
It totally is.
It totally is. This I've talked about it a couple times. This table is a coffee table my dad built when I was 6 months old, and I grew up building Legos on this table. Every TV show as a kid was in front of this table, and it ended up going to the Smosh Studios because we needed it for Castle Black for Game of Thrones parodies. And that was right around the same time they started doing DIY Prop Shop, and I needed a work surface that faced the cameras because all the workbenches in the back of Smosh were against the wall. So I was like, all right, I'll build this into a set. And honestly, I've added to it, but it's still pretty much the same set that I built to do that with Joe 9 years ago.
Was it that long ago?
2015,
Woo!
I think. End of 2015, if I remember right.
Yeah. Try to block out some of those shoots.
That's good.
They were like over 24 hours sometimes.
Yep, a couple of them were.
But
not the first time Joe's watched me build stuff.
No. Daniel Knight says, I'm waiting for my outside workbench to be fully modified. Oh, wow, okay. You actually pulled out the dirt. He had the dirt right there.
Got the dirt right here. Got
the dirt. Nice.
That's got to crumble it into more dirt. This is the sifted dirt, so this is the chunky stuff. So I'm probably going to need to...
All right, I'm going to say this so I can butcher a whole lot of words in one sentence.
Oh, okay.
Charlemagne! It doesn't have exclamation points there. In the province of Mendoza, you will find the highest mountain in America.
Oh, so in Americas. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I give up.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a punk. Odin might be able to do a way better job. I can.
No.
Can you say that one?
Okay, where are we at here?
Right there.
That one. In the province of Mendoza, you'll find the highest mountain in America. Aconcagua?
Watch us butcher language.
Oh, it's horrible. And it's probably in the Americas, right? Because of South America and North America. I wouldn't doubt that Argentina specifically is going to have the highest mountains. Yeah, no. I'm not even interested in trying to fact check that one.
He's not Googling it right now. He didn't leave to go Google it.
Nope, I got no plane.
He left to go get probably glue or something, I guess, because he has this beautiful dirt he just pulled out that he literally has in a bag over there, which who keeps dirt in their garage? Odin does. So he went to grab something, probably glue or something, like I said. And let's see. I don't know if we've given a shot of this recently, so let's go ahead and cut to what he has going on. And let me... That is currently where he's at, so I really like how aged this puppy's getting. This looks like one of the Atari landfill cartridges right here. Except for it wasn't... I don't know if they had any yellow ones. I presume they did somewhere. All right. So, welcome to Odin Makes. If you're just joining in, Odin did not completely change. He's just not on camera right this second. This isn't a great Halloween outfit.
This is a whole other second. Yes. So we are seriously over my normal streaming times. Joe and I have been at this now for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
I think.
We're doing great.
And today, it's a Halloween stream. It's a marathon stream. I'm trying to build a prototype for a Kickstarter stretch goal for the book series that Joe Gillis has written.
It's not a stretch goal, but it's just part of the Kickstarter.
Okay, it's part of the Kickstarter.
Campaign.
I haven't done Kickstarters before, so forgive me for using the wrong terminology, Joe.
Well, a stretch goal becomes a little bit of a different...
Oh, I guess so. A stretch goal is once you've funded, you need something new.
Well, yeah, once you hit a certain level, once you've funded, you're trying to entice people to... give a little bit more. Maybe.
Gotcha.
Maybe
so a stretch goal
higher.
would be a hand-painted postcard by Joe Gillis.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you were totally capable of that.
Yeah.
He is actually. He is very good painting artist.
Yeah, maybe it's like adding an image or something else like that. So he.
Why don't I have a Ryobi branded hammer, Ryobi? Anyway, it's okay.
All right.
Sad as I might, I just don't know. I don't remember. I don't think I do.
Dan Does Junk says, if the edges were darkened more, it would almost look cell shaded. That's true.
Yeah, I was trying to not darken all the edges, and they're pretty dark on the top.
DJ Stumpy says, according to Red Dwarf in the future, we shall all return to VHS when we realize that we always lose the DVD discs. Laughing face crying onto the side. That is so true. We're sort of going that direction.
Still going that direction anyway,
I think people are starting to realize also that the stuff doesn't last. But to be honest, neither
VHS isn't going to last either.
No, not at all.
Laserdiscs have a Laserdisc rot where the lamination of the data layer separates from the plastic layer inside of the disc. So the laser gets scattered and you lose your image. My Ghostbusters actually has that.
Oh, that
DVD also has a degradation problem where just over time, gravity or whatever, the it's going to last forever DVD bumps. No, they don't. And DVDs actually kind of dissipate and wear out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
VHS, yeah, they're not going to last.
Well, they might last a little bit. They're gonna start getting uglier when they go bad, so you're gonna at least know when they're going bad.
Yeah.
Whereas I think DVDs and I'm not. I would say you would probably know when a DVD is going bad. I mean, wouldn't know when a DVD is going bad until it goes bad. Nice thing with a VHS, it just goes bad. You can see it. It starts getting uglier and uglier.
Yeah.
Or more importantly, what we all probably do if you watch it enough is you're just going to wreck it anyways because the tape's going to get stuck at some point or another inside the machine and you're going to scream out, no!
So one of the best things, especially with the old rental tapes, if you want to call it a best thing, I always thought it was really amusing. Stranger Things, Strange Days, Stranger Days. Stranger Danger, Strange Days, I think is what it was called. It was a movie where you're copying somebody else's brainwaves, right? And you're doing different things. So, of course, there's a nudity scene because the whole thing of someone watching someone else having sex from their point of view is something they play with in the game. The rental VHS copy, I had two different ones that I had rented. Both of them, that part of the tape was worn out from the kids pausing the boobies.
So it's self-censored for you.
Yeah, exactly. It was self-censored. It was really funny. There's a problem that you're only going to have with VHS tape. The DVD won't do that.
That's true. That's true. Advixen says, at DJ, I think you win. No Laserdisc in my house. There must have been mention of a Laserdisc earlier.
Oh, okay, probably. Yes.
I still have some Laserdiscs. Odin...
As do I.
Odin was nice enough to get one that never hit the stores.
Yeah!
At one point.
Speaking of... Okay, so way earlier in the podcast, we're talking about Tower Records. I used to work at the Tower Records return rack here in Sacramento. The entire chain would send everything back to this return facility who would palletize everything up and send pallets of returns back to the manufacturers. It wasn't just things that were returned because there was a problem. They would have recalls from time to time. Something was wrong, a deal went foul, whatever. There's a reason why the physical media was going to be recalled. Roger Rabbit had 3 cartoons that were made outside of the Roger Rabbit movie. These were shorts that came in front of like Dick Tracy and a couple of other movies. Animators, as they do, add in nudity. And so with a Laserdisc, you had the ability to pause and you had the clarity because Laserdisc had a slightly better resolution than VHS, you could actually see the cutout in an apartment window of a Playboy centerfold. That's all it was. It was no big deal. So because of that, the discs got recalled like the day before they hit the streets. So these discs got as far as going to the store, but then got a recall, and everyone had to send it back because they legally weren't allowed to sell them anymore. The security guards and the people at the return racks couldn't care because we weren't a retail outlet. They didn't care if we were selling it. So I went, I want this. Oh, yeah, that's going to be like $10. Yeah, great, here you go. And then another one came through. Oh, I want one of these. Oh, okay, didn't you get one? No, I didn't get one. All right, it's $10. Here you go, Joe. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you could actually go frame by frame on Laserdisc, which you just couldn't do that with VHS very well.
No.
Not at all.
And that particular version was the CAV format, if I remember right. You could go frame by frame.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was.
So, yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah, I think I have that, Until the End of the World, and a few other movies.
And since then, that particular scene's been censored. So the DVD versions, everything else, that frame or whatever it is.
The Laserdisc versions after that.
I
think they censored everything after that, Yeah.
So, no, I had that one. I think I sold mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was a point in time when it just needed to sell stuff, and so it was sold.
Yeah. And then, let's see what else we got going on. Jerry Ken Cosplay says, I managed to get myself a new old stock VHS player. Still sealed and works like a dream. That's awesome.
Oh, that's super awesome.
Because one of the problems you got is the heads to the VHS players wear out, and that's where you get it eating your tapes and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm. The pinch rollers squeeze, and well, I really can't touch once I glue dirt on, I really can't touch it to the glue dries, or else it's just going to mash. And so this is kind of the last layer for today.
That's cool. Looks good, though.
I am sort of putting it on all four of the corners, which may not be smart, but it's one of those things that I tend to be extremely symmetrical with the stuff I build. I tend to even when I try to put things up randomly, I step back and there's a pattern. I do that. And so it becomes difficult to remember to be patterned with this, that this is going to be just this particular way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now,
could people request to not have dirt on theirs?
If you want. Do you want a certain number that are dirt-free?
I could just have them tell me. I'll just put it in like a question thing if someone now orders it. Do you want it with dirt or not dirt?
Okay.
I think most people would choose dirt, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, you never know.
The dirt I'm going to use, and I guarantee this from the very beginning, is from the construction site off of the Sacramento Metropolitan Airport. So this is airport dirt. This is high-grade, aviator-approved dirt.
Yes. That's how we roll in Sacramento. We don't play around.
No.
So, what are you looking for, buddy?
Battery.
Oh, okay. Well, I will see what else we got.
I'm pretty much getting down to where I'm going to need to find a pen so I can sign this thing.
Ah, yes.
And I grab the drill, not the heat gun.
I guess this becomes 001.
Yeah, this is 00.
Or 00, yeah, because it's prototype.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have a number.
Or just A or something.
Yeah.
I had a heat gun, so I came out here and I had a heat gun. And I used it on the shrink tubing.
Yeah, you did. I recall that.
Everyone else does too.
Yeah, I honestly don't see where you put it.
Okay, well, I'm just going to walk around.
And that's funny because there's not many places to put it. So if you're just joining in, Odin is making a VHS Light. A VHS cassette light, I guess, more importantly.
VHS. This is Diet VHS. It's VHS Light.
Yes. Diet Light. Oh, man. Oh, that's what not feeding you does. Get you some nice
But I
humor
did
involved.
eat before the stream starts. It just happens to be lunchtime now.
Yeah. So he's going to... that's pretty much it, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to get to see what it looks like now, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet.
From my point of view, this is it. I mean, I could do more, but it's not going to add to it.
No.
It's just going to bury it.
Yes.
And it's already pretty bad.
Yes.
But
it's definitely pushing it, but it looks good.
That'll help speed the what do you want to call it up? The glue.
The glues.
The glues. Let's see how that looks on preview.
All right.
I need to back up a little bit. Oh, that's really.
There we cut?
Go. Yeah, you can cut.
Yeah. All right.
I was just trying to figure out where it's going to go. So this is currently where I'm at with this. I've got 4 or 5 different colors on the things. I actually took a little bit of sandpaper and did some scratching to the stickers, right? Because the stickers need to have some wear on them. So I did that to all of them. I peeled the popcorn sticker on the bottom. This one down here on this side is, whatever. It's better with popcorn or whatever. Can't quite tell what that sticker is. It doesn't look. I think it's an elephant eating popcorn, but it doesn't look like that. If anything, the record safe tab needs to be dirtied up a little better, so I might need to do that with a Q-tip because there's dirt all around it, but on the corners where dirt should be. But that's the front, and then we've got the back, and I suppose I can sign it, in this area or this area. Because that's a nice kind of an open area where it can be signed. And then I did try to do in here too, because it's open. It opens, right? So why not?
Yeah.
That needed it.
I like that.
It was too clean. It would be clean. It should be clean. Artistically, it should not be clean.
No.
So that is our dirtied prototype tape. Yes, the tapes you get will be very, very much like this. They will all be hand done, so they're going to have some variations. And the big thing is, it's not going to have this clunky battery pack. It's going to be self-contained. I know where I can go to Adafruit. I know which battery packs I can get. I know I can get USB-C compatible chargers for that battery pack. So we'll make the tape totally self-contained like the Stranger Things one is. But it should still glow about the same. It's still going to have about the same amount of glow. Because I'll still use the same COB LED strip because we can easily get more of this. I'm only going to use 3 strips, 3 chunks of it. With these types of strips, you can cut at every one of these copper connectors, and I've only got 3 full circuits in it currently. I just happened to cut it on the end where the USB-A was because it would be faster today. But yeah. Smells like dirt.
That's cool.
There will be the battery in the middle means on this side it might be a little darker too, but I can try. Depends on how thick the battery is. It won't be as thick as the tape. So if I still use the same translucent foam that I put in here already, yeah, you can see it's translucent. I might be able to get the battery to be just kind of behind the label more than everywhere else, so it won't darken everything up. But yeah, so there's that. The one thing I need to get a hold of right now is a I would say Sharpie, but probably a Ryobi pen. So let me find a Ryobi pen.
All right. Well, he looks for a Ryobi pen.
Yep.
If you wanted to get your own copy of this, if you go to the Kickstarter link is in the description. It also comes with one of the books, so you get to choose between either the Blockbuster book, and these are all retro style VHS looking clam shells. You open it up, you get the tape right there. You flip it to the other side, you get the other side of the tape. These will look more like what you're seeing that Odin just built, and so you get to choose one of the books that go along with it. And then, should I cut back? Do you want to?
No, it's fine. I'm walking away and thinking about the project. I would want to sign something where it is inconspicuous, right? So the bottom makes sense to me. In the VHS world, we would write what the spine is. Do you want me to sign the spine, or do you guys think it'd be better for me to sign the bottom of the tape? Because we've already talked about how I should sign and number these things.
Yeah, because I was thinking, okay, I could do something depending on what we did, make a label, but if we're going to do this, because it'd be normally sitting on that label, right? unless someone wanted to set it down like that, it might be cool having it signed there.
Yeah, it might. Or just down here is fine. I don't know. People may not care. So, I think I'll just throw that out there. What do you guys think? Where should the signature go? Should it be, should it be down here on this part of the tape, down next to the hub, where it's clear, and if you set the tape down, it's not going to be obtrusive? Or should it be on what's called the spine of the tape, like the spine of a book, where most of us would write, because this is, when you stick it in the machine, this is what you could see. Yeah. So when I had my own copies of old Doctor Who episodes, that's where I put my names on them. So, yeah, quick question.
William Wells voted bottom. Let's see if we get any more votes in.
And I agree with William. That was my first thought. Mm-hmm. So I got one for bottom. And then I got B and S. So what should B or S? I can sign the top too, but I really don't want to do that.
No, yeah. It'd be cool too, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm down for either.
You down for either?
Yeah, yep.
I think bottom. If I had to vote, I would say bottom. So I'll vote bottom because
2 bottoms if you're a side person.
I want to. I don't want my signature in the way of the art.
DJ Stumpy would like spine on a weathered label, which is totally doable.
Oh, okay, on a weathered label. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. They're way buried, but I know I've got some VHS spine labels somewhere. Just white paper labels.
I think I might too. Okay. You want to chime in? Because right now, bottom is winning. If you're a spine person, it's time to chime in.
Right. Well, we had 3 votes from all you fantastic people who stuck with us for this frickin' long. Yes. I appreciate that. But, yeah. And I'm sorry for those of you who are watching this in the future, although bless you for watching this in the future. Voting will be closed at that point. You'll find out what won here in just a second.
Well, we could always keep it open too, and just decide later too.
You could put a checkbox on the Kickstarter. Yeah. I want mine signed on the
spine on the back.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
If you want, it makes it a little more complicated. You have to keep track of it. If they're all the same, you just grab one and mail it off.
It is easier if they're all the same, but I'm also down for like whatever.
Okay.
Because we would definitely have to set them aside.
Fair enough. So maybe we won't do that.
Let them vote post-stream in the comments. Sounds great. Dan Does Junk suggested that.
Okay.
Until we close it, which who knows when that will be.
Okay.
Vote in the comments.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
End of the week. So Halloween, November 1st, I will check the comments of this stream and we'll tally up all the votes. So everyone who's watching it between now and all throughout Halloween, no matter where you are in the world, I will check the comments on November 1st, and we'll figure out exactly where it should be signed. But I will sign the tapes. I'll sign the prototype. Want me to sign the bottom of the prototype now? Okay, I'll just sign the prototype now. This is for your authentication, right? Did Odin actually sign this? Well, no, he's not on screen. Thank you, Ryobi. Alrighty.
Did Odin build it? No. That looks like Odin's.
It's printing. I'm really not that very good with signing. We're going to call this, what, P1? Or
Sure. Sounds great.
So we go number P-1.
All right.
Yeah. Here, let me do the full thing. Odin Abbott, Odin Makes. It's kind of a scribbly thing. It just says Odin Abbott Makes. Yeah, I'm figuring it out. I haven't had to sign too many things.
Really?
Yep.
Not in person ever.
Not a lot. No. So it makes it weird. So I'm still figuring it out. But there we are. There's a signature. It's Odin Abbott. It's Odin Makes, and number P1. This is the very first prototype one, and this will I can pretty much guarantee be going home with Joe today.
Oh, 100%.
Yep. Because Joe wore a leather jacket in a no air in garage with no fan on, is sweating buckets. And thank you very much, Joe.
Well, thank you. It's a little warm, but it's good. I had fun, though, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Super cool. Okay, let me...
Well, let's... Here. We could flip-flop here. All right.
I lost the mouse.
Odin's doing his thing. Thank you all for putting up with us the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. Need to top coat it. Oh
yeah, I forgot to say that. I did see that, and I was going to ask you, should that be top coated?
Probably, because it is just acrylic on plastic. Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Top coating will help with the dirt too.
Yes.
So
seal it in.
Yeah. Do you want this one top coated, or do you want to just take this one and be careful with it? Careful-ish with it.
Maybe top coated.
All right. The top coating also will help fog the window a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Daniel's got to eat dinner now. Enjoy, Daniel. We're out of here really soon too. Spine. Okay, yeah. Spine would be the obvious choice. Yes, it would in blues. Dan Does Junk says, "Great seeing you again, Joe."
Yeah, great seeing you.
Ad Vixen says, got signed by the Viva La Dirt League guys. Very nice, but it was just their first initial, which is weird. Viva La Dirt, so VLD? VLDL? I don't know. Anyway, I want to thank you all for sticking with us to the very bitter end of the stream. This is the bitter end of the stream, the longest one I've ran in a very long time. I think this is the last time since I tried to build something all the way through.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in. Thank you for enjoy your Halloween. Please check out Joe's Kickstarter. I know this became a pledge-a-thon for Joe, but I've known the guy a long time, and he's gotten me a lot of work in the past, so it all seems very fair to me. Thank you so very much, Adam, for being the very first backer on it, and being such a huge backer. And before we close out, check again. Where are you now?
Oh, that's a great question. All right, probably not.
Probably not.
No, I got it. I got it. This project has been funded, so we're at 315 right now.
Oh, you're at 315. Yes. Nice.
Yeah, we're officially funded, which means no matter what, if you get something, it's happening.
It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so so it is funded. It is work. Was it worth it coming on the stream?
Of course it was. I had fun anytime. The reason I want to do a podcast is just to hang out with this guy. We can talk for hours just in general. We're like two teenage girls. That sounds really bad nowadays.
The stereotype, especially Hollywood, the teenage girls talking on the phone for hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mean it in a negative way.
No, it's not a negative way at all.
But yeah, we could definitely talk for a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I love anytime I'm allowed to come and join. It's great.
So, as a quick wrap up, if you want to know more about Joe Gillis and his projects like Post-Apocalyptic Joe or Beyond Geek,
I didn't even bring anything with that. Ooh.
That's all right. Please check out.
You can either go to BeyondGeek.com for Beyond Geek or JoeGillis.com for Post-Apocalyptic Joe in a Cinematic Wasteland.
And there are prizes within or whatever tiers within the Kickstarter where you can get full seasons of Beyond Geek, which I did help shoot and edit.
Yeah,
most of the videos.
That if someone supports just at the book level, which is like $40 or above, it's $45 really or above right now because it's a special deal right this second. Anyone that does that is going to automatically this week is going to get Beyond Geek season 1 and 2 automatically.
Awesome.
Which is like $35 right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Free.
Cool. I will be back in 2 weeks, possibly with Felicia this time, and we may actually touch the Proton Packs again. Woo! Maybe. It's been a little bit.
With some slime.
I need to go Friday. Apparently I need to go look for perma slime. Because we're getting somewhere on those too. That is a long-term project that's been going on.
But it's a cool project.
It is. It is, actually. It's been a lot of fun. So thank you all for sticking with us to the very end. Thank you very much for my future viewers who are watching this as a playback later on. Don't forget to vote in the comments if you have a preference on whether all the tapes are signed on the bottom or all the tapes are signed on the spine. And I'll see you all again in 2 weeks. As soon as Joe and I get the Beyond Geek podcast going, I'll absolutely let you know. And a special thing with that is my Patreon members, my Discord members will be able to sit in on those podcasts while we're recording them live and be able to interact with us during that podcast recording session. But the casts themselves will only go out as an edited version that Joe will take care of. I don't have to be part of that. I'm saying that officially now.
We should just set a time for that. We just gotta set it because otherwise we're never gonna.
We're never gonna do it. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you all very much. I don't know what else to say.
You guys have a great one.
Thank you very much, Adam, for doing it. Adaptable Gamers, we have to get the VHS Light. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. It's cool looking.